Empires demolished, cultures destroyed, the legions scattered across the void as a shadow of its former self. All that remains is the 3TRN5 station, Eternus. For decades now, Eternus has survived on the salvage of bygone eras, small outlying colonies, and asteroid mines, along with the sweat, toil, and blood of drifters. Those desperate few willing to leave the safety of the rings and go through the void.
No, they'll see captions. I just didn't fix it with Discord. Hello, and we are back. You should be able to see it now. Right there on the top, I have the funding goal. We're at $464 and 20 cents. I'm going to be monitoring it. I think it's cute to see people fund this as we play it, and if you build characters, I'm more than happy to include them as NPCs or monsters that people can obliterate. More on what we're going to do in a second, but I would like to really quick reintroduce the cast. Starting with button number 2, which is Kevin.
Hey everybody, name's Kevin. Also found everywhere else, TheLawfulGeek, and tonight I'll be playing Wilbur, Willowby, the 25th. Mercenary here to protect all these sciencey folks. And I gotta warn you, this accent is gonna go places. And none of them good.
It's gonna travel around the world.
Gonna go through the void.
Oh man. Oh, that is great. All right, bringing it down. Returning.
He's got big.
I've got a sound effect to just hype you up. How's it going, Colin?
Oh.
Can you hear it?
Wait.
Very close.
Oh no. No. So while I'm fixing the huzzah button, I want you to tell us where we can find you. What you've been up to.
Huzzah!
Huzzah! We can do it ourselves. Well, you can find me on Twitter at SixStringGames, which is the name of my game company that I run with my best friend, who is Dimeria Streams, who's in chat right now. Say hello to them. And yeah, I haven't streamed here in a while. It's been like 6 months since I've been here. I missed all of you people. And I'm gonna be playing a shitpost name, as they always are, Eldon John, who is a space drifter of sorts, who was picked up by a crew after they found him floating in a space pod, or in an escape pod. And he's just kind of a weird hippy-dippy mystic type who kind of keeps to himself and shit, but you know, he's always there with a helpful word or an aphorism or something that sounds vaguely wise but really means nothing. You know, that kind of guy. We've all met. That's all.
I love it. There it is.
There it is.
All right. Okay. All right. I had to wake up the huzzahs. Spence.
Hello, I'm Spence, and this is Void Kitten, who really wanted to be here apparently. I'm Dextra Fuego. I don't really subscribe to the whole gender thing, so you call me whatever you want. I am the owner and proprietor of the station's best diner. You cannot get any better food than what I put out for you. Just you know, don't be getting in my way. All right? Otherwise, I'll stick the Void Kitten on you.
That's great. I look forward to telling Void Cat all about that. Right. Last but certainly not least.
Hey, I guess I'm back on this channel once again. I do make a habit of appearing here like every 6 months or so. Hi, I'm Diane. I am Valorant1911. I have just realized that I've basically only appeared on sci-fi games in this channel, which is... Yeah, wow. The running theme. Anyway, yes, hi, I'm at Valorant1911 everywhere on the net. And I'm going to be playing Vandy, who is a medic. Like a medic scout sort of person, tries to keep herself safe while also keeping everyone else safe. Mostly by healing, sometimes by just punching the enemies. But mostly by healing, because the punching isn't very good.
It's fair.
And I have announced it to the group. I'm going to announce it now, live. This will be my hope that finally I get to play in a one-shot and not have my character get corrupted, turned evil, or somehow forced to betray the party.
Well, now that you've said
Good luck
it
with that.
out loud,
No,
Godspeed.
this is my challenge to the universe. Don't you dare make me do this, because if it happens,
Yes, because
I
they
won't let
made
it
you
happen.
do it every time, Diane. Every time the universe forced your hand.
I had no choice, Colin. I had no choice.
Now I'm stuck though, because I don't know if subverting expectations means corrupting your character or not corrupting your character. I don't know which one's more, you know what I mean? So
I've given you a dilemma.
I'm also
It's your choice what you do with
I
it.
know. And I feel like do I typecast the players? Because like I'm seeing the sci-fi crew come back to do sci-fi things, and I'm
Yeah, but
wondering
maybe it's just,
sincerely now if like
Yeah, but what if we
If
all
that's-
just happen to like sci-fi and went, oh, sci-fi, I'll jump at that chance.
Pretty much.
To be clear,
That's
I've only
true.
played one sci-fi game before.
All right.
Okay.
No,
that's-
see, we're not typecast. It's good.
see.
Besides, Kevin runs like 20 different genres at any given month, so
See, that's true. That's true. And I'm
Maybe.
I'm mostly fantasy. So all right. Well, so this is the part where we
excuse me.
it's the
Will you
high
cough
dive.
out
So
loud?
we will start yes. We dive straight into a scene, and then we will basically build the world around it. And I want to stress that it's a world I will help mediate, and but I'm a referee, so I'm not the one throwing the punches. We will be doing some world building, but all that matters is you are on Eternus, which is that beautiful many-ringed super station. And I think we can start with Eldon meeting an old friend. Wilbur.
Yeah.
They call it DDS, or derelict debt syndrome. Basically, if you miss a payment on a spaceship, they'll cut it like any other engine. Everything will go off, and then until a ship is ready to pick up what they believe is theirs, you are SOL and without power. So you survive until your oxygen depletes. Once upon a time, you were on board a crew whose job it was to find these people and then offer them a ride home so that they don't die. What you get in exchange is basically everything that's on their ship, or at least everything you can get to that isn't hard locked when the power is cut. So some amount of time ago, not decided, you came upon a ship. Eldon was on that ship, and the remains of the captain of the ship was on as well. Half of the crew had already left from an escape pod, but you gave him a way back to Eternus in exchange for what was a modest payout. It really only covered the cost of the job done that day. But sometime later, we're given an opportunity to meet for a job. Eldon, do you have like an apartment or something on Eternus? What's your situation like? Where do you fit into this massive non-Death Star Death Star?
Not great, Ian. Not great. Eldon's pretty hard up on money. In general, credits are scarce, so I think Eldon, I'd say to call it an apartment is probably generous. I think more likely, it's what would be more often in our world termed squatting. It's just like an abandoned area, like an abandoned sector. It's a roof over his head where he sleeps. He's functionally homeless on this station, and there are some like older sectors of the station that maybe were some of the first ones that were built that have like cheap, old kind of prefab housing units that have since been fallen into disrepair, and eventually they'll probably just be decommissioned and knocked down, and they'll build something nicer in their place. But for now, they're still standing, and they're just kind of these derelict wrecks of like kind of rusty, almost like cargo container-like housing units. And he just kind of found one that nobody was using, and the door was open, and there he laid his head. So that's where he's been staying for the last probably few months, while he tries to get on a crew and get any more cash to have money to move on to the next thing. And he's kind of a drifter. He doesn't really have anywhere he's going. He lives a very itinerant lifestyle. And this has just been the stop for the last few months.
Yeah. Well, we won't disclose the contents of the call, but recently, Eldon, you've been given the green light on the ship you purchased. It's ready. It just needs some customization, and then you can take your crew and head to the job you've been assigned. Probably the first step right now before you're navigating Eternus is to get a bodyguard, which gives you the contact information for Wilbur here. Wilbur, are you call or text? Is it like TikTok DMs only? How do we reach you?
Oh, we can be reached by the usual methods. Just a text will do, a call if we already know each other, if there's some trust. Or you can just put something on a bar and, just pin it to a wall with a knife. That'll do.
I like that.
I think I kept your contact details from when we met, when you picked me up in space that one time, when your crew picked me up. So I've had your
payment. I held you upside down and shook you for all your money.
And like 2 buttons and a nickel fell out.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what you got. And I think you're like a name that he's kept in his Rolodex. And I know you're thinking, do you mean like space sci-fi Rolodex? No,
an actual Rolodex.
It's a literal Rolodex. Yeah, he's low tech when it comes to that. So he's kept your contact info, and he did make himself a little deal recently to get a ship and get another crew together. And he remembered your name as being, I think you shook him upside down. I think you were one of those people who was like, I think this guy's like, firm but fair. He's only looking to make a payday like all the rest of us. Yeah, he did turn me upside down and shake me a little bit, but hey, game respects game. So
business is business.
Yeah, business is business. I respect that. So you were definitely someone that he looked into. All right, can I call you?
Of course.
Okay. It's definitely from like a block number though. He's star 67. It's completely untraceable.
Oh, because as well, hello there. Wilbur 25th speaking.
Oh, I know who you are. You know who I am?
Well, no, but I'm sure it's my pleasure.
Well, I think it was last time we met. That's right. This is your old friend, Eldon
Just a warning, I was very drunk that night. I don't remember much.
Oh, okay. Well, I could tell at the time, but that didn't bother me none because I was very impressed with your physique. You somebody like you. Want a job?
Sorry, you said your name was?
Eldon John. You probably know me if you saw me upside down. Ring a bell?
Right. Sorry, was thinking of someone I met in the bar. Of course. Yep. I'm always up for a job. What do you need? I'm good at a few things. Shooting is good. Punching is good. And keeping people generally alive by making other people not so alive. Generally very good.
Well, hopefully it won't come to you needing to unalive any people. But it's a job. It's just a relatively straightforward, simple shipping sort of operation. Don't need a real big crew, but I already got the ship taken care of. We can leave right away. Just need to pad it out with a few more crew members, and then we are in business, baby.
Slight warning. Have you paid for this ship? Don't really want to
finances
find us
are-
in a DDS environment, you know.
The finances are all taken care of. You don't have to worry your little head about that whatsoever.
Oh, that's wonderful. So if you got a ship, point me in its direction. I'll meet you there.
All right. I'll give you coordinates on the station. And hey, maybe we should get lunch together. Catch up.
That's okay.
Give you some more details.
Is
Sounds
this what I
good.
think it is?
Yeah, it is absolutely what.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah.
I know a place. Mean cook in all respects.
We're going to Dextra's lab. All right. Well, not to shoehorn anything, but Dextra, do you want to explain what CGI Fridays looks like? Because I'm living for it.
I would be
Thank you
happy
so much
to.
for that.
So CGI Fridays has a lot of memorabilia magnetically attached to the walls, and they kind of shift around depending on who's sitting there, especially if they are returning customers, like people who live on the station. There is also serving robots that kind of patrol the area. They have the function of kind of like weeble wobbles. So basically, if any of these unruly drunks get a little handsy with them, they just go woo, woo, and then come back up, and they'll just like, thank you for your time, you must leave. And it says it in Dextra's voice, absolutely all the time. Like Dextra's voice is everywhere. It's kind of unnerving. Dextra's in the back with a small crew, yelling out orders. You can see them, kind of like open kitchen kind of thing where people can see what's going on, but they can't actually go back there. It's a separate door. There are some performance hibachi style cooking shows, but mostly like Philly cheesesteaks and stuff like that. So it's not it's not any specific genre of food, if you will. And it's basically anything you can get. Most of the meat is plant-based because meat is hard to get to. And yeah, and it's kind of rowdy. There's an attempt at music in the background, but all the patrons are so loud you can't hear anything. Any questions? Nobody has questions. All right. So, Void Cat is also always there. Has like a little, you know how some places have like a choo-choo train that goes around the lid. Well, we've got a enclosed area for the 2 Void Cats that are there. Because you can. And it gives me an excuse to hold my kitten. What is your question, Eldon John?
Does the presence of cats in an establishment that prepares food meet all relevant station health and safety standards?
This is why those those areas where the cats can walk are see-through, but they are enclosed. So there is no pet dander or anything like that that's going to get into people's food. All health standards are met. Yes.
Have you recently been inspected?
No.
What I thought.
And mysteriously, no one's seen the inspector in a few months.
He stopped
I
coming
don't
around.
know
It's
what
weird.
happened. The last time he showed up, we had a great time. We had a few drinks and never heard from him again.
You know, no one's heard from him. It's very strange.
So strange.
Oh wow. We should roll a rumor table for that one.
We don't talk
Oh,
about
that's a good idea.
No.
We should. His name is officially Inspector Gaget. The T is silent. But if we want to make a guess about what happened,
let's just say that they're suddenly for a week the special used real meat.
For 1 week only.
He's
Is
not
that
a
the
big
guy with, like,
Special
really-
delivery.
Well, I
It's
mean,
not-
it's fresh, never frozen.
This is turning into Sweeney Todd in space.
It's
I
not
know.
Wendy's. The meat is fresh, not frozen.
Oh boy.
Is he the guy that has
would
those,
make
like, really
me,
loud-
that would make me Helena Bonham Carter's character, whose name I can't remember.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Mrs. Lovett.
thank you.
Is that the
But
inspector,
anyway,
though, that has, like,
that
the
is
really, really...
TGI Fridays in a nutshell. And above the kitchen, it does say Dextra's Laboratory, and there's like hyphens,
How many-
labor, sorry.
How many references can we sneak into one game? Keep watching to find out.
This is what
It's
happens when you
already
get a bunch
too
of
many.
nerds together who have no qualms about bringing all these references in. Oh, and I sing sometimes, and it's great.
To be fair, I'm fairly certain that you can find meat in the station, but in terms of flavor, it changes from person to person.
Yes, it's true.
That is true.
It's
the,
the mystery meat.
Inspector Gadget, was he the guy that had those really loud shoes, and when he came in, he'd always, like, skip on the ground? Like, you could hear him coming. It'd be like, da-da-da-da-da, and you'd be like, Inspector Gadget! Wait, I said it wrong. Shit.
Gajay.
Gadget, sorry, he hates when I do that.
No.
He was so
No, you
full
fucked
of
it up.
himself-
It's over
so
now.
full of himself that he had like a little heal button, and so whenever he would come in, he would hit the heal button, and then that would come over the speaker system like a Bluetooth thing, and it was so annoying.
He was full of
sprung him up,
himself.
little short, was really short guy, and in the spring heel just to bring him up to people's level.
He was full of
Absolutely.
himself. Now everyone else is full of him.
Oh no.
Allegedly.
No.
Allegedly.
That's absolute
Allegedly.
slander.
Allegedly.
That is absolute
Oh,
slander. I do not
allegedly.
do Soylent Green here.
As you're returning, I advise you not.
Soylent
Yeah.
Green, and this station is made
I
with
mean-
soy.
Yeah, I mean the inspector didn't sure enough didn't find any such instances. So if something was wrong with the establishment, we would have heard about it.
Certainly.
The real question, Vandy, what would be your relationship to these people? Were you involved on the ship that saved Eldon? Or is your tie probably to someone on this station, like Dextra?
If anything, Vandy probably would have actually tagged along with Wilbur a lot, because where Wilbur goes, people are going to need medical attention, whether it's Wilbur or the people on the other end of the equation. So one way or another, where Wilbur goes, there's work for me. You know,
Now,
I'm just
I
here
do have
to.
a
I want to
history-
help.
I do have a
people.
history. I do have a history of people flinging themselves at my fists. That's their fault. Those are their decisions.
That is you
So-
manipulating gravity into your fists. That's a whole different thing.
So the question is, Wilbur the 25th. Do you follow Wilbur or do you follow the Wilbur name? As there are more Wilburs, is it the name you follow or this instance? Because that's a lot of Wilburs.
To be
Is
fair,
that-
I'm the only mercenary in the family. My papa was an accountant. My grandpappy was a dentist. The only
then you
thing we
must
have
be
in
only-
common is an appreciation for guns and a real solid lack of originality when it comes to names.
And removing people's teeth.
That too. That's
Yeah.
a happy
That's
coincidence.
nice. Yeah, the accountant still got in a lot of trouble for that one, but okay. So you'd be here with Wilbur.
Yeah,
It's like a package deal.
no, less package deal and more just like think lampreys following sharks. Just like I know wherever Wilbur goes, there's gonna be stuff for me, so I'm just kind of I'm hanging about because I'm waiting to see what happens. Because whatever it is, it's gonna be exciting, interesting, worth talking about and profitable. And definitely violent.
I sit down and just order a cup of mystery energy drink. Let's call it coffee, or the nearest equivalent.
Bean water.
And just wave at Vandy to come over.
Are we meeting someone?
That you making bombs again, Wilbur?
Got a job, got a ship. You know
Oh,
how
that-
it goes.
that
We
cup
may
in
need
front of you, is
some
it-
stitching together.
Oh, that's just coffee. All right. Sorry, I thought you was making.
Yeah,
you
it's
was brewing
really
your own
it's
special
really
stuff.
bitter sludge, but let's call it coffee
Yeah.
to not offend the proprietor.
Oh, you don't want to do that. I've seen what happens. I got paid for what happened afterwards, or fixing what happened afterwards. You don't want to be around for that.
Just meeting the new boss. Should be arriving soon. Just looking for some shit. Just look at. I know this is difficult in the station, but keep an eye out for a shifty fella.
She. I'll do my best. No guarantees I ain't gonna look at every fella that walks into this place.
Are you referring to me?
I mean, I'm just gonna look at every fella that walks
Earl,
into this place.
if you're.
Asking Wilbur.
That's
Are
a
you referring to me?
rogue.
Am I the shifty fellow you're referring to?
Sure.
Do you
Okay,
look
I thought that
shifty?
was a
You
yes
did-
or no
you
thing,
did-
but
You did say I would recognize you upside down. That usually involves a certain shiftiness on your part if you to
Very
reach
true.
that position.
yeah, or you picking me up, upside. Anyway, I think he's already here. But like, listening, like at a table nearby by himself, like looking really obviously. Think Aragorn in the beginning at like the Prancing Pony, like in the corner with the hood up, like smoking.
Ah, yes,
The
subtle.
big arrow that says "we 50 guy."
And it says quest giver.
Is it an exclamation mark?
Yeah.
I would say,
Light
especially
shining down.
especially here in this CGI Fridays that we've constructed, Vandy stands out a little bit. Loaded down essentially with just gadgets and healing items. Has a couple of little additions to herself as well. A few little cybernetic enhancements. And despite all of this, in the firm belief of maintaining. I can't believe I. So this is something I just decided 5 minutes ago, but in the interest of being able to just take whatever moment, whatever time, especially with being in space, 0G offers a lot of opportunities. Vandy is very interested in just constantly practicing yoga. So Vandy is essentially just wearing a lycra suit at all times, just ready to bust out a pose.
Like,
fair,
are you wearing
I
leggings?
would've
It's one of the items you can get in the equipment. How was I not going to take it?
My first
Yeah.
Yoga
assumption was
pants.
that the lycra cat suit was for thieving, but okay.
No, it's from
Is it a-
medics.
Ah. I love this.
Yeah, no, so you leave Vandy alone for like 5 minutes and it's like, oh, you're doing, triple asteroid dog upside down. Cool.
That one sounds like it hurts.
It does if you don't know what you're doing.
All right. So yeah,
Space yoga.
I'm here waiting for you guys to basically like. I'm hoping that Wilbur remembers what I look like, but maybe not. I may have to make myself known if not. But like,
You probably
He's
will
just
have
kinda
to
waiting and
make
watching.
yourself known.
it's like okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've been told to
You
look
guys-
out for a shifty person. I'm basically looking at every single person in this thing going,
Yeah, he's just over here. There's no smoking allowed here, but he's smoking anyway. He's just sitting in the corner with like a pipe.
oh boy.
at this whole point, Dextra is coming out with a big old bottle of vinegar and a kettle of hot water, and just sets it down and starts cleaning out the latest urn of coffee to make a new batch. But people are looking very skeptically at them, like, vinegar? Is that why it tastes so bad?
Oh.
And she turns and she
Just
looks
take a sip,
and
take a sip,
says,
takes a look.
What?
Willoughby! Willoughby, you handsome devil! Where the heck have you been?
Oh, well, sweetie, most of the time just getting my licks in and getting my money in. Just here enjoying
And you're
your
gonna spend it
wonderful
on
coffee.
me, right?
Of course, just drinking this wonderful brew of yours.
Oh, I love you so much. And she pinches your cheek a little bit. And it's just
By
like,
the
what
way,
can I get
Dexter,
for you?
I know you got your business here, but might you be interested in a bit of a side gig?
A side gig?
I got a
Oh,
fella
don't
with
insult the
with
lady, Wilbur.
Right?
Or, you know.
What kind of side gig are we talking about here?
I got a fellow with a ship needing a crew. Figure I'd do them a little solid and higher up.
Do we know what the job is?
Oh, we'll find out as soon as the guy shows up.
You mean
Is
that
the
one?
restaurant come? What?
To be fair, I know I think I've had an altercation or another with most of the folks sitting around here, so recognizing one of them among the crowd is going to be a bit difficult.
Well, basically, there is one person with a hood up, and nobody else has a hood up. So I'm assuming that is your shifty person right there.
No.
But give me a little
Now
more
that you mention
information.
it actually is quite obvious.
I thought they just forgot to take off their pajamas.
Some people think that a hood makes them a master of disguise or something, but
It's the color black. Everyone assumes the color black instantly makes you invisible.
You know?
all right. Well, why don't you find out more information? I could probably skip out for a little bit. I'm due a vacation.
Before you go, though, this coffee of yours,
Yes.
can I get the recipe you use? Because I actually think this could make an excellent resuscitant.
You know, I have often thought that might be the case. So, what you do is you take these ground up beans. Here, I'll let you smell some. And they're roasted just a tiny bit too long.
Just a tiny.
And you.
I'm assuming you're presenting Vandy with like a handful of ashes, essentially.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And you place them in hot boiling water. You let them steep for anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. And then you let them sit forever. And you clean them out once the oily sheen starts to show.
Huh. And you reckon this would work intravenously?
Well, not the grounds. The grounds would actually clog up whatever you're using, but the actual liquid from it, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, no, the liquid. No, the grounds, I don't know, you could use that as a poultice or something.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you could also use it as a poison if you need to, like, I don't know, get out of a sticky situation.
I'm not that kind of medic.
I am. Anyway, don't worry about it.
I only ever kill people accidentally. It's just a thing.
I hear you. So I can pack up. I'm about to clean out this urn. So these grounds are going to be great for you. So I'll pack them up and I'll seal them tight so they don't get mold or anything.
That sounds wonderful. Dextra, you're marvelous.
And you are gorgeous. Are you going to do some more of those poses for me later?
Oh, if we get time, if I'm not patching up Wilbur some more.
I
No, he
mean,
gets holes in
it's
him all the
almost as
time. It's
popular as
either
our
bullets
colonies.
or it's knives or it's claws or something, but he's just... I swear I'm fixing a hole in his skin every other day.
To be fair,
It never ends,
claw-
does it?
the claws only happen when I get drunk at the bar.
And that only happens...
Every other day, but it's been a slow month.
There you go. Anyway, Dextra, we look forward to seeing you around.
I walk to where Eldon is and go, you Eldon?
Who's asking?
Anyone told you look like one of those hippy dippy laser sword fellas?
Yes, I've been told that many times, and in fact, I have a laser sword here, if you'd like to see it. And he pulls out his vibro sword.
That's very pretty. So you got a job?
Yeah. Are the rest of those folks with you?
They can be.
Need a few more. Can't crew the ship, just two of us, so I'm looking for more. If they're willing to come, then...
Well, one of them is a good friend. The other one more or less keeps me breathing. So also a friend. Let's call her a friend. Recurring
Alright, bring them all
associate.
over here. Bring them all in. Have a talk.
Yeah, you got some of those chlorines in your blood, right?
I don't know a whole lot about science, but I'm pretty sure that would kill you, friend.
Yeah, no, you don't want to get chlorine in your blood. That's gonna make you just... Wilbur, it's one of the few things I haven't put in you yet.
It's the mini
So
chlorines.
Eldon waves his hand at Vandy. He's like, you must be a medic.
What, my medical supplies give it away? Yes, genius.
Well, you don't have to be complimenting me like that. I'm just a simple fella. Anyhow, I got a little job.
Simple as right.
Who here enjoys Dextra's bean water? Well, Dextra, you don't count for this one.
Quite a lot. Sure.
Well, Dextra also kind of just sees somebody in the back and goes to do some business. So they'll be back.
Vandy tries this bean water and just an immediate look of... Makes sure Dextra hasn't seen that, puts it down somewhere, and then immediately makes a note of definitely poison.
It's definitely an acquired taste.
Between you and me, that's the response I was expecting. Well, here's the deal. We can improve it exponentially. Dextra here, who I wouldn't call us friends, but I do frequent this particular diner, so Dextra's aware of me, and appears to be a friend of yours, so that's wonderful. Dextra can make a boon off of this deal, because floating out in space right now, there's a little ship right now full of seeds far nicer than the crap that Dextra is grinding up to put into this bean water. We can make the perfect cup of coffee. Dextra can become rich, and all of us can live the rest of our lives on the proceeds. Sound good?
I think you mean we're gonna live the rest of our lives on the produce.
Wilbur, stick to the guns.
from the back, you hear, "What do you mean it's that many credits? It was half that 2 weeks ago. I don't want to hear about your supply problems or inflation. I have people to serve here." And it just goes on for a little bit, and she stomps out right afterwards. Starts chopping up meat on the hibachi grill, and just like really aggressively.
Inspector Gage lasting another week, eh?
What are you talking about? This is tofu.
Sure. Never seen tofu so bloody.
I don't think Dextra likes when you talk about that.
No, we don't.
Wilbur, you keep going that way, and I'm gonna have to patch another hole in you.
And
Don't
then,
worry.
like-
The worst thing Dextra can do is give me more coffee. And I've built a tolerance after so much time.
And then Eldon collapses face first on the table.
He's not built the resistance.
Marine.
Oh,
Wake up.
oh
Wake
shit.
up.
Oh shit. Oh, wait.
No sleeping on my bar.
All right, and no, it's okay. I'm a medical professional. I got this. I'm just gonna slap Eldon real hard.
It's perfect.
He sits up like eyes wide, and his pupils just shoot open into just black orbs.
Oh no,
And-
not again.
Oh no, I think his resistance is gone.
And he starts just like mumbling incoherently for a while. And then speaks, the seed vault floating in space, occupied by the Knight Captain, Osiris Kane, guardian of the Gene Seed Vault of Eternus 4. Dead for 100 years, but spirit still wandering the halls. It's not safe. You must be careful. You must tread light. That was
You
weird.
back?
Just worth a word of notice. I charge extra for ghosts.
Ghosts?
When you come
Said anything about
to.
ghosts?
Just
Oh,
thought I'd
you
mention
did,
it.
honey. You did. When you come to, Vandy is standing at your side with a syringe that's filled with what is clearly coffee, about to get stuck into you. Like, never mind.
No. Thank you. Thank you.
I thought it would help.
You really don't want to do that unless the hot is stopped.
I thought it had.
Mine's still going. Did I just do that thing where I pass out and then talk in a weird voice?
You did.
Yeah.
honey,
Sure.
You did.
Let's say that. Let's say that's correct.
And it's about ghosts?
I mentioned something about some ghostly captain somewhere. Something about some genes.
Okay. Okay, well, that means that this job is probably going to be a little bit more complicated than I thought, but that's okay, because clearly, I gather, we have an extremely capable crew, and I ain't worried.
Mhm. Well,
So what do you say?
I mean, by the
Yeah,
sound
well,
of it,
I'd already taken the job, so sure.
well,
I'm getting this little wobble from, like, the 14th dimension right now. 15th. Says my ship is ready. If you want to get off the station.
darling, how many dimensions is there? I've always wanted to know. 34.
Exactly 34.
That's it.
34.
I thought.
Yeah.
Here I thought it would be 42.
It's a fact.
I thought,
Largely agreed
34.
34.
I thought there was
It's just
hundreds.
science.
I don't know how to feel
Yeah,
about
well.
that.
34. It's a good number. Even.
Well, you know, it's all right.
But the 15th
Which one's
dimension
your favorite?
says it's time to go. My favorite one? My favorite dimension? That's a hard one. I'll tell you what.
You told me
I've
it was the
spent-
27th last week.
That's what I was gonna say. That actually is what I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dimension
I have
20 is
had
kind of
some-
fun, but
Dimension
Yeah,
20
they're
is
all
kind of
good.
fun, yeah, but it's so hard to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
in there.
yeah,
I've been trying for
Yeah.
months. It's just impossible.
we dig the format, but yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, totally into it. But yeah, it's just such a black box. Yeah. Dimension
If you suggest there's a
27
35th dimension, you're insane. You're like
out of your
1
mind.
through 34 is reasonable. 35, you're
Yeah.
a wacko. That's
Whoa,
that is-
that's too much even for me, and I'm a little
I,
bit.
I, Here I thought that the secret of the multiverse was that there were 42 dimensions.
Yeah, I mean,
If
hey,
there were
it's
42 dimensions, I think all existence would implode. Personally,
I'm pretty sure at that
Like
point we
there.
just fold in on ourselves.
yeah.
Well,
I mean, I've had some
Like,
wild.
you ever seen,
times
like-
in the 27th?
You see those people doing that paper folding trick where they just try to get as many as possible, and I think that would just happen to the universe at 42. You know, we just
I
get
can't do it more than 8 times.
stacked and
Yeah.
no, the universe can go. See, that's the problem. The universe goes to 9.
Yeah, see, that never made sense to me. But hey, you know, I don't pretend to understand everything.
Nah, you don't gotta.
What I do understand is 2 things. Number 1, Dimension 27 is fucking lit, and you should party there sometime. Dimension 15 is currently calling me, saying that I got a ship that's ready to get off.
All right.
Let's head to the ship then.
Lead the way, fancy britches.
Brody.
On we go.
I call my sous chef Brody from the back. Brody.
If I'm not, as Eldon leads the way, I kind of lean in to Vandy and Dexter. Go. If another fellow with a hood and a sword shows up, let them deal with it first. It'll be a show.
Okay.
We'll get some popcorn.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I'll make
vaguely
one.
related
I'll make
anyway,
any
probably.
outfit, so I'm down.
Brody, pack up the kernels. I'm gonna need it. By the way, you're in charge for
Kernels?
the next month.
I thought I was in charge for the last month.
Well, now you're gonna be in charge for this month because I'm not gonna be here.
All right. I just heard lemons are extinct. What do we put in the water now?
Do we got limes?
You're a genius.
Also,
Why didn't he's
turmeric.
looking at himself like,
as
why
an
didn't he think of
alternative.
that? Like he's comparing. He's only now realized that limes and lemons are similar. He's like,
Stupid.
starts chopping them up. Yeah.
And so Dextra packs up some supplies for a 4-person crew and starts
You may need
thinking
to
of all the
remind
context that might be helpful for this.
Dexter. You may need to remind that employee of yours that bleach and vinegar are 2 different things.
Right. Brody! Do not clean the urns. Just use them one at a time. I will clean them when I get back.
Yeah.
Don't
Brody's
cry,
just
don't
enraptured
cry.
by this, like trying to remember what lemons were, and now looking at a lime. It's gone. The idea blew up. His worldview has changed, essentially, but he's
sitting there
happily,
wide-eyed.
yeah, putting
And
limes in
Dexter
people's
just
water.
goes up behind him and pats him on the back and say, "Remember, spice is life."
God.
All right?
there it is. That's
I'll-
that's
I'll
the
be
third
back
pillar.
when I'm back.
That's the reason why I don't eat Dexter's food. There's enough spice to end your life.
I really wish I could just get up and walk away sometimes.
Well, if you'd like, we can get out of Eternus if we're ready to head towards. But first, we need a ship.
I have one important question for Colin. What's the name of the ship? Your ship.
Ooh. I didn't.
You get to
No.
name it.
Okay, it's in keeping in theme. It's the Levon. Elton John fans out there are loving this, and
Yeah,
that's about it.
yeah. Shout out to all Elton John fans, and also Elton John, you are out there.
And also to Elton John. You enjoy
It's
your
for you.
farewell tour, Elton. We're gonna miss you.
Yeah. All right. Well, you arrive at the. Any alibis before we make our way to the warehouse where this thing is being built?
Oh, it's being built. Oh, cool.
Oh, it's being assembled. Yeah. It's the core of the ship has been made. Now you have to attach these parts. It comes together. When
Being
Lego
built
took
like-
over shipbuilding, nothing was the same. You just come in
That's what I
part
was
by
gonna
part,
say.
and suddenly,
Just Lego.
yeah,
It's Lego if you're fancy, Duplo if you're cheapskate.
exactly. Yeah, so basically, it's gonna like a blocky chrome ship. It has very rough edges. Quite literally would look like a Lego set before the attachments are put on. Once all the attachments are on, it smoothens out and makes for like a well-rounded, multi-purpose ship. But until then, it's very bare bones. It is a vessel, and it is a multi-chambered, fully pressure-locked, interstellar capable, albeit very shoddy ship. And the attachments that come on will sort of modularly make a sort of home away from home, guys. But you see a variety of attachments hanging loosely in this hangar. And a tall man with hair slicked back and a clipboard will approach you. He has what seems to be like a leotard and a cape. Across his chest it says Comet Boy on it. And yes.
Are you
Comet
a
Boy?
fellow enthusiast of the yoga?
Nope, I am a superhero.
But
What?
are you a yoga superhero?
I have dabbled, and he'll rip a tag off of the leotard. But I am a superhero. The name is Laszlo Lurber, Comet Boy. It just sort of like shines that like shiny black hair and smiles.
Okay,
Clicks the pen.
Mr. Fancy Pants, what's your superpower?
Yeah, what's your deal? What's your whole thing?
My task today is to aid you in building your ship, as a hero would.
Yeah?
How much do your
wasn't aware that
services
we
run?
needed help.
Or that too. But actually, I mean, Mr. John, do you know how to build a spaceship?
Do you want to build a spaceship?
Do you want to build a spaceship? Well, no. I'm afraid I don't precisely know how to build a ship, but I also don't necessarily feel comfortable paying someone else to do it for me, so as far as I'm concerned, that's a bit of what you'd call a quandary.
No, I think that's called a bit
Well,
of
that quandary is
being
easily
a
solved.
dumbass.
That quandary is easily solved, Eldon. No one builds the ship,
No?
there's no job, and we walk away.
Mm.
And you never see the produce of your produce. No, dang it, I messed that up. The proceeds of your produce. That's the one.
Okay, I'm seeing your point.
Well, if it's
Alright,
any
let's see,
constellation, it's all paid.
God. Oh, well, I knew that. Yeah, I knew that.
Mm.
That's good.
All right.
So,
Let's load up
can
our
you,
attachments.
what do you got?
We're gonna just imagine some extremely campy beeps and boops as a display forms. It'll show you basically a number of attachments you can put onto this ship. Each of you, I would like to pick out one, and then because of our sub goal, we will get a bonus one of my choosing based on if I feel like something is missing. I dropped in rule 20, but yes. So for shipbuilding, it's going to be super straightforward. We will do all of shipbuilding on screen for like 10 minutes, and you should have a full ship. We need. There's like 6 different. So we are a runner class ship, so we get up to 6 attachments. Basically, each of you just chooses one of those, tie it into your story if you would like, and then I'll pick one out. And then we just name it, and we're ready to go.
Okay. So we have, what did you say, courier class?
Runner.
So we have, we have a runner, so we get 6 of those.
Oh, runner.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
I already know what I would like this ship to have. And it's based on my own experience of getting patched up on the frequent side. And it's automatic repair systems.
Ooh.
Smart.
Truly an economical decision. And he just sort of checks it off on a checkbox on a piece of paper. And then in true like wasteful fashion, a computer in the corner looks at what he's writing on paper, scans it, and then the attachment starts to like build itself, all to cater to his like analog, clicking of a pen.
Vandy's looking at this and just like, this is just like the more complex version of when my uncle bought me my first spaceship. But then he was a fisherman, so he got a special deal. So my first ship was a Fisher Price.
Something in my throat.
Yeah. That one just made me angry. I walked into that and I didn't even check for traps. That hurt.
You know what would be good, especially since we don't know how far we're going, is having some solar sails. That would be really helpful.
Great in a pinch if everything else
conserving
dies.
fuel and stuff.
Smart. All right. Solar sail.
Yep. I
want the
wanna
wormhole
get-
generator just because it's chaos.
The wormhole generator? Do it.
It's chaos. Like, why the hell not? Yeah, do that.
Do it. Aha. What does a wormhole generator look like? That's my question.
Ah,
One
that's
big
actually
giant
terrifying.
cannon at the bottom that says Big Bertha.
nah, it's like a it's gotta be like unsettling looking, I feel like, right? Like it's an experimental piece of tech that like tears the fucking fabric of space and time. So like I feel like it's like really wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. It's like a okay, so I'm seeing like it's like a big you ever see those dampeners they put in skyscrapers to keep them from falling over during earthquakes? It's like they look like giant pendulums with like a giant weighted ball on the bottom. And I think it's one of those, like it's this giant orb that kind of hangs and like ticks back and forth almost like a grandfather clock. But it just as it moves back and forth, there's just like rippling waves as it like warps the space-time continuum around it as it goes. Pretty unsettling to look at. It's weird. It's like you don't really want to be around the thing. It kind of feels creepy just being near it.
Yeah. This puppy was ripped straight from the 18th dimension. I've fought many a time, Spider. Have you faced the dark clusters of the Fremulon system, Eldon?
Perhaps in a past life.
Or in a
Have you?
future life. I, myself, have faced it many times.
Sounds like a
Please sign
clever
here.
fuck.
You
He turns the
you have-
clipboard for you to sign off on the wormhole generator. Seeing as this is an experimental attachment, I will need a waiver signed from each of you.
Whoa, now hang on. I didn't agree to none of this. Wormhole.
That's
Not
what
yet.
What you're doing right now.
Clicks a pen.
Wormholes. Do you know what that can do to a body? No, none of you's interested.
No.
All right,
Well, no,
fine,
it's
whatever. I'll sign off on it.
Andy, listen. Worst case scenario, you end up in one of the other dimensions. And I've been to most of them. They're not that bad. And if you end up in the
I'm pretty sure-
27th, good. Or
I'm fairly sure we can worm our way out of those.
It's weird because I thought the worst case
I
scenario was
managed.
something where you end up with like your brain in your foot.
I've never seen it happen. I'm not saying it can't, because I don't want to make any promises I can't keep.
I've treated it,
We.
but I didn't know what I didn't know what caused it. It just said
Could
wormhole,
be a dimension.
and I believed it.
The Gataxians of Cyprus 11 do have brains in their foot. I encourage you to be on the right side of history with your phrasing. And it
Alright,
just
but for
passes
the
waiver.
Gataxians, that's normal, and for me, that would be disastrous. So you see, it's a matter of perspective. I don't want to have the perspective of my left toe.
Your brain is in your foot, not your eyes. That would be different. I don't know of any species that has that, though. Correct me if I'm wrong, Comet Boy.
I'm just apologizing to the Gataxians in chat, but yeah, Comet Boy is just getting ready to finish up on this thing. You can see like everything, these pieces just coming up on the wings, putting it together. What starts as like a really rough ship starts to come in and like smooth out. It's looking like more like Darth Maul's whip than anything. Thanks everybody for the follows. See, wormhole generator, automatic repairs, solar sails. I think we just need one more.
You need what every ship needs is a grappling hook.
I like that. I like the confidence of not needing a med station. I like that you're like,
I am the mid station, baby.
exactly. Exactly.
We're taking healers. Or
All right. Okay, and then you know what? I'll throw this one to chat. If you want to tell us what to build, we reached our sub goal. I'm gonna give them a special attachment on this ship. It's quite obvious now that you know, it being a runner, like objectively compared to most ships, it's a very cheap ship. But compared to broke people, it's very expensive. It's like tuition. You're like, yeah.
please, Chad, give us something actually useful.
Defense drones.
You
I
do
like
whatever
defense
you want
drones.
to us, we can handle it.
Prevents assign a slot number. Prevents 1 damage to that slot. Yeah. Let's do defense drones
That drone sounds fun.
or hangar band shuttlecraft.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah, let's give Chad a moment to actually. That's not. I respect Kitchen, but let's not jump on the first one.
Hangar Bane shuttle.
Looking at like.
Mm.
Eldon's like looking through Groupon. Like, I think I have something for this.
What can I
We
afford,
get
you know?
something.
That's the trick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
What are the other, like, experimental
Mystery.
features?
the sensor ghost.
I
I
didn't
was
realize that-
tempted
no.
by. That's really tempted by a sensor ghost because that would just
Yeah,
be a
that's
lot
cool.
of fun.
And stealth mode, that's also very cool.
Yeah. At the same time, the
Similar.
notion of just getting even more maneuverability with the thrusters. I love how everyone in chat is now suggesting different things, including the same people suggesting different things.
Cargo bay.
Yeah. I'm gonna
Can
throw
we
my
have,
weight
like,
behind
a-
the defense drones.
Hey,
I'm thinking defense.
it's the only thing that's got 2 votes, so it wins by default.
Yeah. I like it.
All right. You know what?
Even here, the voting's first past the post.
Yeah. Look at that. Well
Oh,
done.
boy.
You've completed your ship.
I've also made
a
popcorn.
receipt.
You want some?
A receipt prints out of a nearby droid, and with his pen, he just circles the end of it where it says his name, and he's like, "If you could leave me a positive review, it gives me good marks at the end of the quarter." And just kind of like stands there with his cape, and then just like waits for you to get on your ship.
Of course.
Take my finger and as everyone is voting, mark 1 star, and then walk.
Ooh, villain,
Well,
villain energy.
Feedback, bitch. The stupid cape.
That's amazing.
you don't gotta take it so serious, Comet Boy. He's just like that. He's just, you haven't shot at him yet. He hasn't had a chance to make your acquaintance.
Mm.
Anyway, Dextra, did you just roast popcorn on another ship's engines? Because I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've got plenty. You want some?
Does it got
And
that
I
jet
go-
fuel taste?
No, actually, it's more of a butane taste. And
Oh.
as I'm explaining it, I
snacks.
give a 4-star review to the ship builder, and using my influence, just be like, write down Dextra says this is all right, and knowing the weight that they carry on the station, that's probably going to give him a decent review.
Very generous of you.
You don't know what I just did.
Wait, what did you just do?
I left a review. I made popcorn. And I grabbed my wok that is now dry and put it on my back and go into the ship.
I don't think
Vandy's stuffing her face and just following the popcorn.
It's perfect. It's an amazing zero gravity food, because it's just gonna bounce off of things until very easy to catch.
Oh yeah.
Pretty weightless.
You toss it at someone's head and it's just gonna go book.
Exactly. It's beautiful. So do we have vibroblade target practice scene on the ship, or how are we making this home now that we're in? It has new car smell.
Oh, that's nice. Anyone want to learn how to wield a vibroblade?
As a little pine hanging ash.
If you're teaching vibroblade practice, I'm just gonna stand by.
We'll practice it, but it's low tech, so instead of a little hover ball firing things, it's him just standing there and me shooting at him.
I like that. Yeah, just hand you a loaded pistol. It's like, shoot at me, please. Okay.
I'm sure this is a perfectly good idea.
Yeah, I think Eldon probably looks more skilled at this than anything about his personality or style of dress or anything would betray. He's decently skilled with a vibroblade, and is like parrying shots out of the air and doing all kinds of cool tricks. And he's doing like a lot of really unnecessary like flips and spins for some reason, like that aren't helping at all, but just like lots of unnecessary like twirling.
Especially with the double vibroblade. Because there's a bunch of
very
spins and
dangerous.
falls down.
Yeah.
Probably like accidentally cuts off a piece of the wall, but it's like nothing important. Probably.
Vandy's standing by waiting for you to get seriously hurt, and eventually realizes that's not happening and just decides to just find a place, clear out a space, put down a yoga mat, and does the 5-dimensional shrimp pose.
Ugh. Not that one. I've seen that in the 27th dimension too. It got weird.
Yeah. It only works in the odd numbered dimensions. I've noticed that.
Yeah. It's known.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. Another win for Dimension 20. Truly.
Yeah, I think he settles in with some practice, and then I think at some point tells Wilbur to like stop shooting at him, and Wilbur kind of like doesn't listen and keeps shooting. They have fun with it. No, we're done. Wilbur.
Oh well, fine. It takes a look. It takes a look at advantages. I know you gotta be flexible in this line of work, but it's taking a bit too far.
Listen. This is why I replaced all my tendons and joints long ago.
Ooh.
What?
Should have gotten that mod.
Replace them with what?
Oh, just parts.
Parts.
Wait.
Parts. You know.
No, I replaced them with cats and dogs. What do you think? Cybernetics, doofus.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. Okay, let me explain. I thought the whole point was to like optimize the body that you had, not like get a new one.
Yeah, I optimized it. I
Oh,
optimized it by adding to it.
All right.
It's just...
I can see how that fits.
Perfectly Optimus.
No offense, man. Anywhere you find your joy.
taken.
You're in your prime.
Usually in the guts of other people, but... That came out wrong, but you know what I mean.
I do.
I like to spare people from death. If that means I gotta rummage around inside their bodies a little bit, well, so be it.
Hopefully it won't come to that. Shouldn't.
Well, I hope not.
Who's...
But I hope to get firmly acquainted with your organs one day.
Oh, jeez. So who is
That's a promise.
at the helm of piloting? There is a notification. Now that
So
you
it's such a
can
thing
out.
as
I'll be
organic
at the helm.
relationship.
Okay.
I like that Vanley likes to, likes to have organic relationships.
Hologram of a paperclip appears. Doesn't speak, but there is a
Oh, little
notification.
Lord, it's a Microsoft paperclip.
It's
It says
Clippy!
wormhole generator now live. If you touch the notification, it means you're beginning the process of enabling it and setup. Do you activate it?
Sure.
You just get a voice in return. Hi.
Hello.
Are you sorry, they made artificial intelligence kind of nervous. I thought it made us more approachable. So I think you want to rip space-time a little bit. Is that
Just to get where
something
we're
you're still
going,
trying to
yeah.
do?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Gotcha.
Do
No,
I
no,
need
no.
to like infuse you with confidence? I'm pretty good
Uh,
at that.
No, you just need to sign in with Google. That'd be great.
Okay.
And then tell us where you're trying to go.
So we are trying to go to what is the name of the seed vault thingy? Did we come up with a name for it?
We kind of did, and
I don't
then
think Eldon-
moved on real quick because we got distracted.
We
I
do
agree.
Willow.
Eldon mentioned it in a... I mean, we could make... No, I don't think we need to make a check for that. Eldon mentioned it in his interdimensional seizure
Vision.
augury.
Mhm.
Yeah. I have the name of it. Here. I'll send it to chat. I think it's Anka.
Let's
Anka
pretend
Terrace.
that I have an
Oh.
eidetic memory.
Mm.
The crypt of Cain.
Okay.
That part.
That's
So
the
we
street name.
are
Yeah.
we are going to Terrace 4.
Oh, sweet. How far is
Just
that?
make sure you route it
Well-
around planets because we don't want to have like anything explode.
And about ripping
I'm-
time, space. Make sure it's
Wibbly
just
wobbly.
a tiny rip and not ripping a new one.
Yeah, see, I don't really live in Euclidean space. I don't know what around means. I can make you there,
Okay.
though.
Sure. Let's make us there then.
All right. We're not even going through
Consequences,
any planets.
schmonsequences. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's collapse space-time, shall we? Is
I
everybody
believe
buckled?
in you. Let me sign into Google real quick.
Wrong
Okay.
password.
Got your
Install.
No, wrong
Confidence.
password.
And the next hour and
one's
a
also
half
wrong.
of this stream is you trying to guess your password and never figuring it
wait,
out.
Yeah.
it's that one that I used back in high school. Hang on. Weasel83298. Yes! Okay, that worked.
There it is.
Install minor confidence boost on AI. Minor, not major. I don't want you to have a giant ego.
Dextra,
There it
Dextra,
is.
are you helping the AI?
There it is. Can I have
How you
access to the PA
doing?
system?
Oh, I like
Never
this new
mind.
voice.
I've granted it myself. Coming up on the speaker, I need everyone to buckle up. It's going to be a bit bumpy.
Ooh,
We may need to
I
install a
like it.
you know, you need to check the program, see if the program installed a compensator for a tiny ship on the AI.
No, Wilbur, darling, let it be. I'm digging it.
God. As far as I can
Fancy
tell, this
knows
ship
what's
is
up.
massive. We're not stopping till this ship is so big, people are mistaking it for a small moon. Buckle up. Space-time's collapsing. Suddenly out the windows, everything turns into an unexplainable mix of purple and green
It goes plaid.
light. Yeah. Aurora Borealis outside as we rip through space.
I think
Peering on the
we
other
broke.
side.
We were broke.
Broke Spence.
Yeah, no, it's gone. There.
Okay.
No characters have died, but we've all broken
One of
about
our players.
10 times each.
Well, one player down, that's fine. When they get back, we'll be good.
Yes. The try not to laugh meat grinder. Make it happen. When you appear on the other side, it's just like a massive geometric. It's sort of shaped like a sandcrawler, all covered in gunmetal gray. Not designed to be flashed out by any means. Unmistakably, it's the seed vault. Coming up on the speaker system, it's the AI again. This is Clippy speaking. It seems we've arrived.
Oh, Clippy, bring us
Leave it.
about.
Eldon hangs
You
his
just
head
tell
out
me.
of his cabin. It's like, I've been asleep. Did the AI get sexy while I was out?
Yes. Yes. Clippy.
Speaking.
Yeah, you are. So bring us into discrete synchronous orbit. And what are you doing later?
I regret to inform you, Dextra. I'm just a series of code. I'm doing nothing the moment I'm paused. What I can do is bring you closer to this ship, but I should inform you that they plan to attack.
Oh, well, then have the drones, the defense drones, on standby for an attack formation.
You heard him, boys. The drones did not hear him, but, they just start to... Drones coming out and start
Did we say
spreading.
the drones are
There are-
AI's sexy backup dancers? Are gonna dance their way out of the space right
100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they fly in space, just spreading glitter.
Yes,
Oh boy.
It's chaff.
absolutely. And they just sort of.
Disco drones.
We're gonna get a roll.
Please
to
make the
activate them, though.
drones just giant disco balls.
We already had this in Tachyon. We're not doing it again.
Mm.
It works.
You did it back then. You're doing it now. No, I'm stopping you. Putting an
All
end
right,
to the
so
disco.
we're going to. All right, so we're gonna do some combat, a little bit of ship combat here. Fortunately, basically the entirety of combat can fit in like one clip of a screenshot, which is for people that are itching to get this game. Fun. About this. Notice when it says initiative, you roll a d6, and if it's 4 through 6, you guys go first. And then I go after. That's literally all of initiative. So if somebody can roll a d6 for me. What'd you get?
You're muted. Whatever you're doing,
Okay.
Die.
God damn it! I was gonna say, do you want me to roll because my die has a sparkly llama?
I rolled a
Why is it
1.
not
Oh.
focusing?
Kevin got a 1.
No.
All right.
Kevin rolled it.
You're gonna
It's
go
a 1.
You can. All right. So let's start with a maneuver, Dextra, because you're at the helm here. D20 plus recon. You're basically trying
Do a
not to
better
get
roll.
shot at as these missiles come in, and then somebody else should help in activating these drones.
No.
Uh-oh.
Eldon, I'd say you roll for the drones. See, we have a bit more luck.
I don't know why you think I'd have. You, Evan, we clearly haven't played before. All right, I'll try it. 9 for those drones.
Plus
Is there a modifier? Yeah, the modifier would be my.
heck.
Your level +3, or is it tech? Yeah. Yeah. Oops.
Well, I have a level in tech. Which one
Oh,
would it
10.
be for that? Yeah, a 1.
Versus
10.
10. Hey,
Yeah.
that succeeds.
Yep.
Oh, that's all it takes? Well, look at that.
Look at you. Yeah, so those will go off. Fortunately, the ship is hit. What I'm going to say, because I like this idea, is it's going to target your wormhole generator on the impact. You can only use the thing once per week, but suddenly you're not sure you have a way back. So you better find a means to return to Eternus.
So this thing just took
Otherwise,
out our
you're
wormhole
DDS
generator?
again. Yeah.
Aww.
Just
Does that... Okay, Ian.
Yep.
Ian, I want to know, though. Does that affect... Because I had thought, initially when you said the AI booted up, that it was like the AI that powered the wormhole generator. So does that affect our AI friend at all when the wormhole generator gets blown up?
So it's not fully broken, but what happened is the AI is designed to reflect the state of the wormhole generator, and for that, he's basically in a panic, and all that confidence
He
is like
goes
burned.
from
Yeah.
suave gentleman to Larry the Cable Guy.
Don't do...
We're gonna
I will
die.
drop from this game if you do a Larry the Cable Guy impression.
No,
Mm.
guys, I'm seeing stars. We gotta. This is not a good idea.
Yeah, there's a whole lot of
Clippy,
stars around
Clippy,
us.
Clippy,
Shut
hang
up.
on. Yeah, exactly. Of course you're seeing stars. They're all around us.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's a fair point. But
Yeah.
all right, okay. Whoo.
Get you back.
This
Don't
guy's
worry about it.
huge.
You gotta
It's
stay calm.
perfectly normal. You're just starstruck. Perfectly normal.
Why?
You
Why?
gotta stay calm.
Why are there missiles in
You
a
gotta stay
seatbelt, guys?
When you freak out, I freak out, and I don't want to freak out, so I'm gonna need you to kind of keep it together right now, Libby. Okay? Hey, listening to me?
Yeah,
Together.
I got this. No, I can.
What are you gonna do?
I
you
can
gonna
muster it up. Let me just these glitchy sounds, and then you get like a brief moment of perfect confidence, where he's like, "Brace for a panic attack," and then he's just screaming again. All right, we're gonna need someone to take this ship. into the vault
I'm
because
sorry,
yeah, it
do
looks
we
like
attack?
Let me try again, and I'm going to use my ability tag, which gives us all +1 to hit.
If I can roll for attack, I have the highest mark, so.
Okay, so I'll activate tag, and then you take over the defense drones to attack.
Okay.
That way you
So
get a
do
+1 on top
the
of your
defense
merc.
drones attack, or are they just to prevent damage?
Just to prevent damage.
Yep.
I don't think we have guns on the ship.
Yeah,
I think we
forgot
have
about the
basic
guns.
guns. We just don't have
don't.
really powerful ones.
Have you
don't have-
considered ramming speed?
ooh.
I mean, we
There
can
is-
do some. We can do some hard, impactful docking, if that's what you mean.
Yeah.
Is that a
There is a visitor center. That's an interesting thing about, because this was a public resource before the pirates took it over. So what you see on the ship is there are attachments. Basically, what you do is you pilot a small ship that's actually just a big gun, and then you attach it to a ship, and then all you have to do is feed power, and it's a makeshift cannon. So you can take over someone else's ship, and then you've already got your like pirate guns attached to it. That's what they have. But because it's like, it used to be a public ship, it used to be essentially it had no interest in having to defend itself like this. It has a giant hangar you could go to for like a sort of visitor center. There's like a nice lobby, probably filled with pirates, but you know, that's a problem for once you're there.
Well,
Somebody
Dextra,
take the
line
helm
us
for me.
up
I'm gonna
and
make some
thrust.
coffee capsules.
I got it.
Okay, so I'm gonna switch seats with Eldon, and I'm gonna go to my kitchen stash and start making coffee capsules per roller 300.
Fair enough. And as I want to say, while Wilbur is setting up whatever attack plan we're gonna do, I would like to check in with you, Ian, whether or not I can use the diagnose skill to figure out what is wrong with the wormhole generator and see if I can maybe figure out what to do about it.
Yeah. Yes. It's hard,
All
but
right.
what'd you get?
Yeah, you know. I guess. Oh. Wait.
I guess, yeah, your skill for
Uh,
it.
If it's
Yeah, so it's
up to
medic level
me,
plus D20.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So what happened is, yeah, the wormhole generator. It's weird. You can't like invent wormholes. You can like discover them, and they exist in a way that can't be accurately described in any like scientific means. Basically, what happened is when I got hit, it was launched into the future instead of launched out. So it was thrown in time instead of thrown vertically. It's misaligned. It either went back a few hours or it went forward a few hours, but it's
it went
somewhere.
back to the future.
Or some when. Yes, exactly. If you could go back and hit it, you could bring it back to the present. Or you just have to wait for it. But yeah,
I'm
that
gonna
was
get on
already
the comm
enough.
and just go like, Eldon, can you launch me forward in time by about half an hour?
Clippy
I
is
don't know
still
what the fuck
just
skill that would be,
raging
but
in the background.
Clippy, I need you. I really can't think when you're doing that.
Just lay on the floor. Just lay on the floor right now, and just hold me a second.
Are you-
okay? Okay?
You don't
Just
have a body, Clippy. You are literally lines of code.
Yes, I'm the floor of the ship right now.
Okay, you be the floor of the ship. I'm gonna step on you a little bit. I hope that's cool. It's not a sex thing. And we're gonna figure out what we have to do next. And he like stomps across the floor to Fandy.
Speaking of sex things, we have.
Is that the segue? Okay.
Can't wait to know where that's going.
Yeah, we have some
Better get to
here.
it.
There's some options here. We have some freak-ass guns in here, and or we can do some aggressive thrusting and get straight into that hangar.
What did I tell you about sex things? It's not a sex thing. All this aggressive thrusting. Jesus. Whoever that is.
So who has done a thing since the attack is my question. Because that's how we'll... Yeah, has anybody not done a thing yet? Because I guess it's Wilbur's action. All right. Let's take us in.
So I'm asking, do we want to fight or just go straight for the hangar and dock in?
Let me ask you something, Wilbur. Will, can I call you Will? Will, were you planning on crashing into that seed vault with the ship?
That would be my plan, yeah.
All right, for reasons that are too complicated for me to go into right now, that's not a great idea. So, if you
Wilbur,
have
honey, are you crashing a ship again?
Then I'll fire the
Yeah, no, I don't.
water. I'll fire these super soakers at the pirates then.
There goes my days rate.
Let's roll the weapon. Begin an attack.
Wow.
They need to roll their maneuver, I think.
There. Okay, let me see the. I think for your ship attack, based on shipboard actions, or actually no, based on combat. Yeah, that's a success. Yeah. You are firing at the hull. What I'm going to say is instead of targeting the hull, this ship is massive. If you're trying to destroy the ship by shooting at it, it would be a nightmare. Instead, you're basically destroying a specific what?
A specific system in the ship. Like disable something in the ship.
Yeah, we can destroy the cannons that would be firing at you.
Oh no, I want to destroy life support.
You want to destroy life support?
Yes. I want everyone on that ship to just not be able to breathe anymore.
Yeah.
You know we have to go on that ship though.
Yeah, we have spacesuits.
Okay. I think. Yeah.
But
And I
what
got
about?
boots.
No.
As long as you're not crashing the ship, you do whatever you want.
That would be Wilbur's choice. It's up to you if you agree with it. We can go for another.
No, do what you want to do. Do what you want to do. I think that's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean, you could hit the oxygen
then.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with what Roller 300 just typed in chat. An entrance that leaves them breathless.
Wow. That's.
I'm here just to take their breath away. That's what I'm here for, to take their breath away.
Wait, that's the first time we've had the rim shot this whole time?
You're gonna take their breath away and leave them cold.
Yeah, okay, so you do that. And then suddenly, like, the guns sort of stop for a while. Your AI will chime in again. Oh, no. What do I do? Every window turns into a screen, because they're all translucent screens, with like an incoming call button. And it's like red button, green button. He's like, I don't want to answer. I
just press the answer. It says, hello?
Yeah, a woman chimes in from the ship and just says, "You dick. Did you just
fired on us first? Now you're good to die. Bye-bye."
Sure, yeah.
Hang up.
Yep. You see she
No, Wilbur.
The last thing you see, she's like putting on a gas mask. The whole place is like overgrown on the inside. You can see all sorts of plants and like hydroponics labs inside the ship.
Wilbur, honey, you should have given them the chance to surrender. We could have gotten some free loot out of that.
In hindsight, maybe.
Well, it's alright. You pay me back by getting shot and paying me to heal you.
But now they're going to be too distracted to fire, meaning we can safely land.
Yeah, the guns have stopped for a while because people are now scrambling to get whatever oxygen is still in circulation in the system. Yeah. Yeah, fun thing about a space station garden is it's going to use a lot of oxygen pretty quickly. So the inability to cycle oxygen and carbon dioxide is bad when your ship is filled to the brim with as much oxygen processing plants as humanly possible.
I mean, I would assume there are redundant systems for the things it's keeping, like the plants and seeds. I just wanted to disable the thing the people were breathing.
When that call came through, Eldon like ran up next to you, Wilbur, and then you like hung up just as he got there. Yeah. And now he's just kind of trying to like pass it off like it's totally chill, but he looks flustered.
You wanted to talk to them? I can ring him back.
No.
I pull out the console and it's like an old school phone with like I forget the name.
Rotary dial.
Usual thing you would. Yeah, like a ring dial. Just the rotary phone, the rotary dial. Just dial them back.
Oh, you're calling. Oh.
I mean, this ship got caller ID.
Okay. That's good.
So as we're piloting towards the ship, I'm just dialing them back.
So we're calling the vault again.
Calling in, yeah.
Yeah, she'll answer. She's like, we're busy, suffocating.
My buddy here wanted to have a word with you.
Who? Oh, shit.
I mean, I know he looks rough, but that's kind of mean.
Oh, man.
Hi. How you doing? How are things?
Of all the dimensions I'd find you on, it'd be this one, huh?
Well, when I found out the 69th dimension doesn't actually exist, I kind of realized I was stuck here.
Can't have it all, Eldon. Please turn around. This'll be bad.
I don't have a choice. Need the money. You know how it is. Business.
I'm feeling like I'm missing some context.
Kind of looks at the hologram of Acta. Why don't
you two got a history?
Yeah, we're a lot alike. I didn't sell my soul, though.
Oh, so you used to bone. Got it.
Yeah.
Well, one-time thing, but... No, but we were crewmates for a while, and in fact, Wilbur, you met me right around the time I left Acna's company here. That time you found me floating. You, eating well, staying healthy?
Yeah, fresh air now and again. Harder lately.
Not so much
so
now.
It's like breathing out of a mask. Pulls it off.
Hey, you might want to get on that.
Sorry, my friend here is a great shot.
Yeah, we've got a lot of plants that are about to die here soon.
As I said, you should get on
Vandy's
that.
Vandy's gonna poke her head in the cockpit at this point and, may have been listening in from around the corner and just go, do you need someone to fix that space station of yours? Because I can probably do it, but it'll cost you.
Yeah, I don't think I can work with Eldon. Not with his boss, that is.
Ooh.
Eldon, what have you been not telling us?
Do you honestly believe that ship belongs to him?
Oh no,
Have you seen his
not in a
credit score?
million years, but
Oh no.
I thought he'd sold a limb or something.
Eldon just leans and like coughs and hangs up punches the cop. He hangs up.
Oh,
What's
whoops.
this line?
That was
Whoops,
weird.
Slipped. That was crazy. Wild, huh? We should get going.
At
saying?
that point, Dextra comes in and looks at the screen. Oh, hey, honey, how are you? Been
Right
a
as it's
while.
hanging up.
And that's fine. That's fine. Dexter knows every lowlife in the galaxy. It's fine.
Oh, you too. Oh God.
I'll just take us in, and then we can fix up that freedom problem they're having. Along the way, I may shoot a couple more people. Just
You
to be
know,
safe on the
honey,
safe side.
You'd have a lot more friends, just saying, you'd have a lot more friends if you did more, more thrusting and less shooting.
I see what you mean, and I get you, but they opened fire first. That's a big
Well,
no-no
that's
on the
just plain
relationship
flirting.
front.
That's just plain flirting.
Well, I'm then just flirting back aggressively.
Well, all right then.
Nah. You're playing hard to get. That's the way, honey. Alright, can we get on there? Can I fix the...
We need to be better friends.
I think you and I need to talk. Now I need to get on this ship because I gotta repair this thing, because if we step out and we all suffocate, then I don't get paid. And
Suffocate?
we all know how
Wait,
that works.
you turned off the air on all those plants?
Idea was more taking in the air on all the people. So they would stop shooting at us.
If we lose the plants, we lose the money. We lose the produce, and I don't get the good coffee that I like to make.
It's a giant
And if we
freezer
lose
in
the...
the...
If we don't
Hey.
get paid, we're all completely fucked.
That
Eldon,
sounds like a threat,
Eldon,
That
are you
sound
okay?
like a
Your face is
threat,
doing the thing
and-
again. Are you about to pass out and slip into the 17th dimension?
And,
Oh,
and
shit.
on the oxygen front, that there, if there's no oxygen, is a giant freezer in the sky. Perfect to preserve everything. That's why you keep things fresh. You put them in the freezer.
No,
So are you entering through
Wilbur-
the main lobby? Like the visitor center? There's also like a back entrance.
Oh, there's got to be a visitor center. I want the automated, welcome
door.
to the space station.
Yeah.
Welcome to the seed bank in space.
It's a seed
Exactly.
bank on the move.
No, wait, you gotta put
Industry,
the echo
science,
on.
technology.
Put the echo on.
In
yeah.
space.
That's great.
Oh god.
I love it. It's perfect.
You're officially every billboard advertisement in this seed bank in space.
No. In this case, we're not going in the back door, kicking in the front door.
Perfect. Love the energy. Well, as you arrive, what you'll find is they probably were once upon a time ready to defend this place. They're not quite able to breathe lately, so they've been scrambling to try to repair that system that's been just absolutely obliterated. They're probably able to put it back on. I mean, these ships will have ways to repair those. Otherwise, that would be a really, really fatal flaw. Yeah. After the Death Star, they're like, nah, a backup. There's like, yeah, it's really a fool me once kind of situation. But for that, it means that there aren't people in the main bay, which means if you're trying to navigate, it's going to be a little bit easier, at least in the beginning. Where are we trying to go?
I have
I
the
would say usually the
HUD,
bridge is a good idea.
Okay. So I have an HUD on my thing. So I'm going to
Yeah.
say, hey Clippy. Clippy, honey, are you calm now?
Yeah.
Did you get high?
I did what I needed to do. I'm
Good,
sort of
good.
just I don't think I'll go with you if that's cool. I mean, I know I'm kind of just a
That-
ship. I couldn't really.
That's okay. What I just need one little favor from you before we go onto the new ship, okay?
What's that?
Can you download a schematic of the ship's layout and send it to my HUD so that we don't get lost?
Yeah, just do me a favor when you.
What you need?
The AI is sort of. I just need you, if it's okay,
Mm-hmm.
to sign into Google again.
Okay.
For the token. Thank you.
I use a different
All right,
email
and-
address with a different one, with a different password.
Nice.
There you go, honey. Is that better?
Okay. Yeah, just I don't want to get boarded or anything, so try to keep people out. That'd
Okay.
be nice.
No problem.
Yeah,
We
I do
still
not have the
we still
emotional
have a
range to
couple
deal
of
with new
defense
people.
drones to help you out, so use them unless it's us coming to your aid, and then don't use them because I would prefer not to die. I'm over 100 years
Man.
old, and I'd like to keep it that way.
Whew. Congratulations.
You look great.
Thank
I've been
you.
alive for about 4 minutes.
I know, and you're growing by leaps and bounds every second. And
Right,
so
so
I now have a map.
You sure do. Boop. This is all the information you have about the map. What I will say is this is one wing, not too far from where you would enter the visitor center here. This map, by the way, for context, is designed to fit a number of different scenarios. But for right now, what we need to know is that, per the description, this ship is overgrown. And for that, you're going to get like a sort of sight, sound, smell, vines, and vines. It's fresh cut grass in here, and it is swampy. People have been mutating things that have grown, and suddenly, with a lack of oxygen, it's apparent immediately when you step in that nothing in here would survive after a while. But with that
Is
said,
there a
All part of the
control
plan.
panel or something we can point Vandy to?
you understand a control panel to be in either 5A or 5B, but it's not specified.
Okay.
I'm
So
gonna start sprinting
I'll
to
start leading the way, I
5A.
guess.
If I
All right,
see that
5A,
in
here
some
we go.
section, if I see that any section is kind of swampy, I don't want to go do swampy, I'll turn on my mag boots and just go on the walls.
Hmm?
I like a mag boot.
We're at 6 right
Yeah,
now?
you.
Yeah.
We are at 1. And the game is
Okay.
so light on rules that I only need to doodle for the game. We don't even need tokens. So you are, let's see, right there at 1.
Okay. As we start to get going, Vandy, Dextra, you said you were leading the way, but Vandy just kind of turns to you, limbers up a little, and goes, "Don't worry, I do yoga for this," and then just takes off at a dead sprint.
Okay, so go ahead and you're gonna take the you're gonna take the second right.
Go ahead, second right. Thank you, got it.
Are we splitting?
Well,
Vandy is
Vandy's
going
just
ahead
running
and
straight
we're
ahead.
following.
We need
right.
to split to give Dice character the chance to betray us.
Mm.
Don't even go there. Don't even go there.
Well, before any betrayal can happen, it seems it's not a tripwire because there aren't tripwires here, but something vegetative attempts to latch onto you, grabbing your leg, it being an easy target as you're just like running down the hall here. I'm gonna pull up a thing. Let's see if I can find it.
Welcome to a tentacle party.
Wait, I think I'm back. Yep, I disconnected, but I'm back. You triggered a trap. Let's get a probably just do a reflex save. Otherwise it'll just start to pull you.
Vandy's?
Yeah. A.
So, recon?
Yes, recon.
Yeah.
Yeah. No!
Uh-oh.
Well, that's
Okay.
not-
You're gonna take
Hang
two
on.
hits.
Oh.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. I picked Andromorph for a reason. The tentacle may have me, but I do have my cybernetic joints and such, so I'm going to try to just bend out of the way. I'm just going to re-roll this.
Oh. Okay. All right. Can't keep Mandy down. Yeah, this thing was obviously trying to like take you and grab you and pull you somewhere. But you're having none of that garbage.
Pull you in for an intimate conversation.
I look at it, I kick it backwards, and I go, Wilbur, I left something for you.
I gotcha.
All right. So, are we still? Is it still just a full speed sprint?
Oh yeah, just get run.
All right.
This is where Vandy's instinct of, I know these people are bad, and they were shooting at us and everything, but, you know, keeping them alive will make them grateful, and maybe they'll be customers.
What
and
is your?
Also, there's this weird grudge thing going on, and I want to know more about it. Like, there's gossip. Please.
Yeah. What's your recon level?
Just one.
Perfect. So I'm gonna pull like a dumb Pathfinder 2nd Edition trick and say that the difficulty is 11. If you roll,
but you would
recon,
have a +1 from tag. Because
okay.
Oh wait, no, it's attack.
Yeah, that's a to hit.
Never mind. Never mind. I'm sorry. Yeah. I misunderstood.
Okay. Difficulty.
Excuse me.
Difficulty 11 recon. If you want to try to match Vandy's pace, and that puts you in lockstep wherever she may go.
I take my time. Go quiet, guns out. Anything shows up that has unfriendly intentions, will be, will be on the other end of aggressive negotiations. Or, as we had discussed before, aggressive flirting.
Okay, yeah. All right. So, I mean, for that, if we want to split, Eldon, I don't know if you want to follow Wilbur on the A plot here that is dealing with some loose ends from your past, but he also doesn't seem interested in. Yeah.
Least likely to die next to Wilbur, historically speaking.
Yeah. Right. So where that hallway forks between 4, 3, and 6, what direction do we want to go in? Wilbur? So Vandy is going towards 4.
I'm heading towards 3.
3? Beautiful.
I'm gonna draw my vibro
Okay.
sword and follow you.
Awesome. Make sure to set it to vibrate. Otherwise, it's just
The
sword.
intensity, speed.
Yeah. That's just analog violence. Not here for it. I hate it when my sword rings. That's so dumb. All right, so what you see is a sort of bay. There's a window in room 3 for Eldon and Wilbur, and the window overlooks that main hangar where your like ship with anxiety is sitting. Fortunately, nobody is trying to raid it, but you get a good view of like everything that's going on. You can see like the billboards and the echoing voices booming through automated ads. But there's also somebody here
In the room. In the hangar or in the room?
in the room.
Oh,
They're just overlooking a bunch of controls, but I don't know if they see you yet. You notice
I hear
they're
a
wearing
soft
a helmet.
vibrating.
Yeah.
I daintily approach and just want to tap on their helmet with a gun.
Duh! How did you get in here?
I walk through the front
Looking at
door.
You notice she's reaching for something.
No.
I already made it hard to breathe. Make a wrong move and I'll make it impossible to breathe.
What do you want? Stops reaching.
I'll leave
There was
that
something
to
obviously under the command dashboard.
I'll leave that to Boy Genius here. Fiber Boy.
Rude. We're just here for some seeds, and then we'll be on our way.
Seeds. What?
Technically, seed pods.
Tell me what you need.
Coffee. You've heard of coffee? Coffee, that's all. That's all.
Are you here to save us?
What?
Technically,
Coffee?
No, the pirates. You're not here to save us?
There's fucking... Son of a... Of course there's... Oh, dear my... Wilbur, are we here to save them?
I mean, that's what Vandy's doing.
I didn't know there were pirates! Of course there were pirates.
Give me hold that thought. Tell the guy and go, hey, folks, I have a short-range comment. Folks, are we here to save this folk? There's pirates, apparently. Are we, like old school shopping mall? Are we here to get our shit and get out?
Roll a d6 for me.
I literally was about to write on Roll20, roll a d6. I don't think that would have worked.
Just do it.
5.
Okay. All right, you get to go first, but it's immediately clear that she's attempting to attack you, thinking she's caught you off guard.
I don't make threats. I make promises. I shoot.
All right.
And and the fun thing, I have this wonderful little trait that's called rapid attack. Because I have 2 guns, I do 2 attacks. In that it's attack versus defense, so they need to roll a defense.
Got it. Okay. All right. So let's see. So
That's
I will
my
roll.
first attack, and the second is start to attack and recon. To
Holy smokes. Okay. I think that hits them. At least the monster stat that I have. How much damage are you dealing?
Weapons only deal 1 point of damage.
Okay.
For each hit.
You hit them, but they're not dead because you've done 2 points
That's
of
fine,
damage.
but that's just the
Yeah, no, I mean that's fairly intimidating itself. Eldon, you have a sword.
Eldon's gonna. So here's a thing you might not know about Eldon. Eldon can fly. So Eldon's going to.
I love this game.
Just like. I can just do that.
Oh, Eldon's gonna go full on wuxia.
Eldon's just going to like jump jump at them and then just kind of right behind this person and land behind them and do one of those like jump behind them and put the vibro sword to their neck and just try to force a surrender.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna take it out of scene with that because we'll go to Dextra, Vandy. Dextra, did you want to follow Vandy towards 4, or were you going down to 6 or up to 3?
So I was going to kind of watch their backs. I have my giant walk as a shield, and I have a flamethrower as a weapon, and so I'm just I'm basically just like watching everybody's back, making sure nobody interferes. So I think I'm in the corridor between 3 and 4, since I saw the Willoughby and Eldon and Vandy went into 5A.
Yep. All right. Okay, and then for Vandy, in this 4th room, you have. Let's see. As I scour the 4 pages, that's this entire book. It's sort of a commons. There's a circular table with a weird chess-looking game and holograms of monsters. But other than that, it's very straightforward. One of the rooms appears to be a sort of workshop, and the other room appears to be like a living quarters. So 5A seems to have a lot of computers in it, and then 5B seems to have a bunch of beds in it. You're in room 4, which is sort of just a living space. There are TVs, there are people hanging out, but then this entire place seems to be overgrown. Some sort of growth hormone or mysticism put on these plants have caused them to just grow rampant. Last time you ran through a place like this, you were almost grabbed by a living vine. Is there anything that you do as you enter?
Let's see. I'm gonna get up my shock stick. And that's just prep. That's more of the flavor actually than anything else. Which of the rooms did you say was it that had the workshop place?
5A, which would be
Okay.
The red.
And the other one just is like bunks and such.
Yeah, like living rooms, or bedrooms rather.
All right. Yeah, no, definitely going towards the workshop because that seems like a better promise, or like a more promising option for actually fixing anything.
Yeah. Okay.
Shock stick at the ready and micro thrusters set to help propel me forwards if need be. Because that's something I took.
Yeah. Eldon and Wilbur seem to be doing fine with what they're doing. So, Dextra, do you follow Vandy to 5A?
Yes.
Okay. It is creepy in here. It looks like the people that took over this seed vault, they've been doing a lot of their operations here, and what you can see on the screens is some sort of work they've been doing on genetic modification of a lot of plants that are believed to be extinct. It's not sure why they're doing it or what they're doing, but if somebody has tech, actually, it might fall under medic, to be honest.
I have a tech scanner, so I can use that.
Yeah.
But
You
I've
have
also got
a
1
what?
point in medic. I have a tech scanner, so I can scan it. I also have 1 point in medic.
Well, you have a tech scanner. I have a med scanner. Can we slam them together and make an omni scanner?
Yeah.
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 I'm sure we can make that work.
Yeah.
So, by our powers combined, we have an Omni Scanner.
The Omni Scanner. Well, that's funny because it tells you twofold something that's happening. Medically, it's producing, it's propagating plants that cannot reproduce. And then in terms of the tech side, it's genetically modifying them to grow rampant. What this means is that they're producing large quantities of food, but then they're producing food that you can't take seeds from. It actually might be news to you that lemons would have seeds in them, because that's not something that you actually had to deal with.
I thought all grapes were seedless.
Right?
I'm sorry, was that a question to me?
Did you notice the silhouette of people in like astronaut suits coming in from 5A? They're just slowly walking towards you. They're wearing like the space suits that the original Seed Vault maintenance workers used to wear when they'd operate on the outer shell of this thing. But they're just slowly like waddling over towards you.
Can I point my med scanner at them and see how they're doing?
Yes, your med scanner tells you that they are fibrous and an excellent source of vitamin A. As the fill light in the ceiling finally reaches them, you'll notice many vines are just kind of hanging out of their face. The constrictions of the vacuous organelles inside of these vines are such that they can basically act like muscles. The thing that grabbed you was an animated vine, and it appears that these suits are just filled with them. But they just start marching towards you. We can do another initiative. There are 4 of them.
So kill it with fire.
But was there in fact a control panel for the environmental controls in here? Is the important question.
Oh, that's yeah. So it showed you where the environmental controls are, but they're not here. So the oxygen feed is in room 7.
Mother.
You could run from these things if you think room 7 is where you need to go, though.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
All right.
Extra, honey. I'm not here to fight. I don't have the skills. We got Wilbur to take care of that.
Yeah, these things are just vine shamblers in astronaut suits.
I can burn them, or I can help you run. One of the two.
Live up to your name.
Does it do we have oxygen? Because if we don't have oxygen, my flamethrower is going to be useless.
There's enough oxygen.
It's a dwindling supply.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, these astronaut suits have oxygen tanks attached to them. If you think you need that.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So flamethrower it is, and so I guess I need to roll a d6, huh? Oh, you did it.
Yep. If you two act first, then it's going to be. Oh no, roll a d6. That was for the number of viney bastards. To which there are like 4 creeping your way. Ooh. Ooh.
I know, I suck at rolling today.
You're gonna take.
By the way, is the person that is in the room with us, are they viney?
Are they viney? No, they're not viney. Let's see. I have the stats. All right, they're going to attack you. What is your defense? How do you calculate defense?
Defense is recon level. That's your bonus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. So I need you both to defend against the attacks, I think is how this game works.
Okay.
I believe. Or they make an attack.
Yep. Yeah. No, players make all rolls.
Got it.
Okay. So
I'm learning to love, like learning Symbaroum. Absolutely falling in love with making players roll for me. It's refreshing.
I swear, I cannot roll a shit today.
We reached our goal, so we do have like a hero point. You can use it there if you think.
Then I will. I absolutely will. And... Nope.
Oh,
and that's worse.
So Dextra's dead, and that's fine.
It's fine. I'm joining you.
They're just temporarily inconvenient.
You're gonna. In the spirit of this game, that there's 4 of them. Dextra, if you choose to save Vandy, you will die, and Vandy can get away. But you almost certainly die.
I will sacrifice myself so Vandy can get away, because
do it for the vines.
That is a thing that Dextra will do, and they'll look back and say, "I'll see you in the next life, gorgeous," and then run toward the vine creatures and let them absorb me. Oh, sweet death! Give me your virtue!
Just pour your coffee on them. That'll do it.
Oh, I do have coffee pellets, explosive coffee pellets that I made. That I did say while we were flying, and I had Eldon switch with me. So there's a minor explosion when they crush
that'll poison them.
That's a good way to die.
Can I do one thing to maybe give Dextra a chance?
Yes.
I have one weapon on me. I have a shock stick on me. I don't know if it's going to be any fucking good against these mines, but I would just like to toss it. See if I could just like implant it in whatever facial mass is next to Dextra and just go, use it! And I don't know if that's going to help. I don't really care. I just want it to be there for coolness points.
Yeah, you know what? For cool, because the other thing is you want to kill these things as well.
Well, I dropped my flamethrower, so you can pick up the flamethrower if you throw me that.
Oh god, I missed that you dropped your flamethrower. No, wait. No, I'm not betraying. I'm not using a flamethrower while you're engulfed. No. That's not happening. Not this time.
Don't do it. Yeah, but no, it's just... No. She's getting absolutely swarmed.
I'll see you again in Through the Void versus Biolante, I guess.
Run for it.
It's such a shame. It's a shame. Dextra and the AI, I shipped it.
I know.
Yeah, in that case, Vandy is going to shed a single tear and run, and probably not pick up the flamethrower because I've already done a lot for my action, and I'm not gonna push it.
All right. Well, and in true down we go through the void style, Spence, why don't you describe what this person at the hangar bay control panel looks like? Because that's going to be your next character if you so wish to jump back into the game here.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't afford you a death.
Damn. I was going to sit back and watch the insanity unfold. Okay.
Yeah, so your ship has been taken over by pirates who mounted guns on the outside and started pumping these plants full of growth hormones and then making them incapable of producing their own plant offsprings so as to choke a market.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You may have been recently shot twice.
Yes, and there's a vital blade against your throat.
And I'm holding a blade to your throat, yeah.
Great.
Giving a nice hum.
Okay. That sounds a lot like something I use elsewhere. Anyway.
That sounds like a story.
Nope.
No.
Another time.
No.
TOS.
No, you're trying to kill me, damn it! Look. There's pirates and they're like trying to they're trying to grow something. I don't know exactly what they're growing because I'm not a botanist. I just control the visitor center and the docking bay. That's all I do. That's my job.
Drop the gun. Drop the gun.
You're not gonna kill me?
I have
if you don't give us reasons to. No.
Okay, and so I slowly put the gun down and
So what's this about? Yeah, okay, pirates, fine. How many?
A lot.
There's well, let me check the life sensors. Hang on. I count 4 that are still alive.
Fine. Well, let's send Randy to fix that oxygen thing, and then Eldon, you take 2, I'll take 2.
I really don't want to kill anybody if we can avoid it.
Well,
Hey, I'll say it again. They opened fire first.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I can try to help with like making things difficult for them if you can get the oxygen back on.
That's where Randy comes in.
Yeah, we got somebody on that right now.
You just hear screaming from somewhere in the background.
I go up to the door back too, towards the hole and says, "Hey, Randy, come over here." Well, that's not helpful.
Let me see
I'm
if
gonna
I
go
can
look
get
into
those
that.
doors closed, because that's one of the places we're not supposed to go in. And I use hack to close the door.
That's just fine. I got a torch.
Nice.
I'm
Eldon's
really
gonna
quickly like
relight.
resetting
I
my
literally have
character
a
sheet, so
plasma
hang on.
cutter. Any door will be opened.
I'm gonna relight the vibroblade and take off in the direction of Vandy's screaming, flying as I go.
Just gently gliding.
Gorgeous. I love the
Well,
third act reveal. Like, I can fly. I have noticed that. Flight is a thing.
To our new friends, well, it's you and me then. Pull me in the direction of the pirates. And,
Oh,
if you
the,
want to go
pirates?
and help the folks turning on the oxygen, I'll be right behind you.
Sure, I'll, yeah, I don't want to go in that room, but if you give me a few minutes, I can probably, I can probably get to the controls, like, hack into it. I'll try. Just don't go in 5A.
Oh, that's where they were going.
Okay.
You see
Okay,
Vandy just like skidding around the corner of 4, still screaming.
So, referee,
Yeah.
am I able to do that and get the oxygen back on?
So we're going to 7.
Okay.
Because the oxygen is being generated via room 7. It can't be done locally from the computers you're on. If you want to try to go to room 7, you recognize that the people that have been mutating things in your lab, their hostile takeover has created these like really creepy semi-sentient vine creatures. Allegedly, it's centered around this master vine. Some of your assistants have gone missing because they've been pulled in. So you wouldn't want to do that alone. You've not visited room 7 since the people have invaded. And truth be told, you've been on lockdown in room 3 just so they couldn't get to you.
You're gonna have to shoot some things. And if you will allow me, I would like to take my slug thrower, just in case. I swear on all the cosmos, I will not shoot you. I will even walk in front of you until we get to room 7.
That's fine then. But...
Okay.
By the way, have we encountered the person who had the awkward phone conversation with Eldon?
Oh, they're in section 8. But we got to get through section 7 first to turn on the oxygen and then not die.
Well, lead the way. I think we're heading towards 6 then?
Yeah. So, follow me.
So, when we get there, are Vandy and Eldon coming our way, or is Vandy just running into infinity?
I went off looking for Vandy because Vandy was freaking out.
You catch Vandy in the hall headed towards 6.
Yeah.
Headed towards 6.
Yeah,
Eldon. So fun thing. So yeah, you know Dextra, right?
Very well.
Well, not anymore. You don't. Anyway, the plants are bad, and they're everywhere, and they're gross and viney, and I think they're also kind of taking over the ship, and I don't know if there's anything other than plant people here. And anyway, we gotta turn on the life support so that we can just get rid of this everything. I'm gonna go continue screaming and running. You wanna join me?
No. And are you telling me that Dextra's dead?
Dead or absorbed into plant life, or like eventually we're all going to get used by plants. So maybe they just sped up the process a little bit. I don't know. I can't heal from someone like.
We live in space. That part's not necessarily true. And
I'm trying to comfort myself here. Can you comfort me, please?
Be calm.
Oddly enough, that didn't work. Can we turn on the life support?
Yes, we need life support immediately.
We do.
How do we turn
Also,
oxygen on?
what is going on, and why do you know so much about this, and why do people seem to know you? Also, since when do you float?
Oh, that's a trick I picked up in the 27th dimension. Okay, I didn't know this going in, but
I built mine myself.
Well, good for you. I didn't know this going in.
Anyway,
to answer your question, the one of the particular crew members looks like part of this pirate crew is an old crewmate of mine from back in the day. I was not expecting her to be here. That was I didn't know. I didn't try to keep anything from you all. I had no idea she was involved.
That's fair. Also, in fairness, we're the ones who showed up on a ship and started blasting this place, so maybe we're kind of the pirates since we're now boarding the ship and taking it over.
At that point, just for the record, they fired first.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
no,
We're still the ones boarding the ship and taking it over. Just want you to consider that point
but
of view
from
anyway. It doesn't matter
from
to me,
other
I get it.
pirates, which makes us privateers. I think.
No, privateers is when you're doing it for a government.
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
Anyway,
I'm
that's
aware.
a weird little distinction.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, are we privateers? Is this what's happening?
He's a
bad.
snitch.
You know, I
if
hate
wanted to
working
work
for
for
the government.
I'd be a soldier.
Listen, it's not a government so much as it is an intergalactic corporation.
Oh
So
no,
much
I'm
better.
good. I'm good with that. I'm good with that.
Mercenaries.
A distinction without a difference, really. But
You know,
if we don't
anyway.
pull this off, they will DDS our ship, and we will die.
Eldon,
Wonderful.
I have made a vow across my life to never hurt or cause harm to anyone unless absolutely necessary. I'm feeling the absolute necessity. You get me?
I understand if you're angry, but
Yes, I am.
consider
Now let's
my
go
point.
save
consider
everybody,
my-
and I'll. Hmm?
Betty, just consider my position here. I needed money. That's it. That's all I got.
That's absolutely fair. I got nothing.
That's
You know,
fair enough.
I get it. We've all been there. But consider also my position. I'm gonna slap you in the face real hard when this is all over, and then you can buy me a
Just have to
meal
wait till it's over.
made of like
I
20 kilos of waffles, and then we're good.
I got a couple of things. One, any more surprises and revelations, Eldon? You might want to get them out of your chest right now. Because if we discover anything else, or we end up in a DDS, I'm throwing you out the airlock first.
Can I just hold up my medical
Second,
scanner to
where the fuck is
Eldon's chest?
Dextra?
Yeah, if
To-
you
to my
if you
chest?
if you bioscan Elton, what do you get?
What happens if
It's like
I'm
Yeah,
it's in Zalgo. Yeah.
It's weird. Yeah, he's. What do we say? What do we call? What's the bullshit name I can give to like Medichlorians, but in this universe?
That's
Uh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Mini chlorine.
I just think you just see like lots of little You just, when you hold up the scanner, you just see like lots of little things just like moving inside of it. That,
You
like,
see
you've never
calorie
seen before.
content.
Yeah.
Wilbur, I think there's a lot of things in his chest, and now, you know what? That's a discussion for another time. Because I'm pretty sure getting those out would kill you. Anyway, Dextra's dead. Come on.
Wait, what do you mean
Dexter's
Dexter's dead?
Okay,
Yeah,
so you're
there
alive one
was-
day, and you're not.
There was plants, and they just kind of...
I will miss a good friend, but I gotta admit, the culinary world has just had a big sigh of relief.
Oh, they lost a Titan.
Oh.
Anyway, Wilbur, if you want to burn some shit, there's a flamethrower in the entrance to room 5A. I don't know what happened
Yeah,
when I
I
said that.
was
That's
told
so weird.
something about some pirates that we had to shoot.
You can shoot it or you can burn it. I think I left my shock stick back there anyway. Let's go fix this goddamn air purification
Now let's
thing.
go. We're
Whatever.
gonna go to where is this? Room 7 then.
Yep.
Well, that's us. You cover the rear, but if you want to get the flamethrower, you're gonna have to do a bit of an advance first. Where you saw me run screaming away from, that's where you should be going.
Yeah,
if
it
you want
seems like a
flamethrower.
bad idea. But you know what? How about we just hold on here for a few minutes? Just a few short minutes. See if they come round the corner. If they come around the corner, we can pop them out. We can also, hear me out, we can forego the whole oxygen thing and just go grab our shit, a coffee, and get the fuck out.
It sounds like the surest way to get paid, which is kind of important. So...
Yeah, it's
if we
I call
don't,
it an
we all die.
anti-DDS measure.
Yeah. Because they will
Yeah,
kill the...
so there are a bunch of
they
computers
will
in
kill
room
the life
6.
support on our ship.
Yeah, there are a bunch of labs in room 6. You know, room 7 is life support. Room 6, you see like hydroponics, like hanging gardens, something growing out of walls. It's like the most plants per cubic inch that you could pack. So obviously it's like a micro farm.
Grab the coffee, maybe some Granny Smith apples, and let's get the fuck out.
All right. I want people to actually try to find stuff that they want here because it's going to be very hard to dig through everything. We're looking for coffee. We're looking for apples now. What else are we looking for?
Optional.
Oh, Vandy's really just thinking about life support. Partly also because, like, in the event of an absolute necessity, it can probably be turned against plant life.
I think the lack of oxygen is already doing that.
Yep.
Yeah, but what if you just added too much oxygen and then someone lit a match?
That's
You
a
notice
possibility too. I have
it's
another.
getting,
I have another
the
one
air is
for
getting
you.
thin in here. Eventually, out of exhaustion, a starfish-like cluster of vines falls off of the ceiling and just lands in the center, sort of like when you really, like when you tip over a spider and they're like doing that thing that's like absolutely mortifying, where they're like, and it's like playing like the horror piano music, like, and you're just like, ah, yeah, it's doing that as it's like trying to like level itself. Let's do a d6 for initiative.
Actually, is
4
this
through 6.
initiative?
It is.
Can I do it? Can I do it? I haven't rolled one of these yet.
I have combat ready. I win initiative.
Okay, well,
Period.
you know,
Period.
that's cool.
Okay.
It had to happen one day.
All right, what do you do to this thing?
I
We'll say it's you're like on the ceiling, like with your boots. You're just like on the ceiling.
I look at the thing like wriggling like a oh fuck that, and I open fire. That's the first, and the shitty second.
I mean, first for sure, yeah. Yep.
Yep. I hit it once.
Yep. Okay, and then now when you win combat, does everybody win combat, or you're in combat separately? Winning combat. And
I think I just go at the beginning. That's it. Or
okay.
I don't know.
I guess
it says initiative. You 4-6 who goes first? I think we just go first.
Yeah.
Okay,
this looks.
Oh no,
Well,
we're being told to roll d6. Yeah.
all right,
Yeah.
so we'll do a d6.
I do it. I want to roll a d6. Oh.
Okay, you can roll it. I'll still let you roll it. I'm not gonna like have fewer people.
Oh.
Yeah, roll.
Okay. Yeah, I just haven't gotten to roll one of these yet. Oh, why'd you let me roll? What's the matter?
Wank.
I know. Come on, Rep.
We have one initiative this whole time,
Put me
except
back
for
in,
you
Doc.
know.
Being bad guys
auto
go.
win.
I'll choose you then, and I'll make them attack you. So roll your defense.
Me?
Sorry, me.
Yeah, Eldon. Since this thing fell off the ceiling. Yeah.
Okay. My defense. Let me see. Where's my thingy? I think my defense is just. Oh, my defense is 2. So it would be a d20 plus 2.
Yep.
Okay. Here goes. That's
Hey!
13.
You make it. This thing is like face hugging you, but it's so big that it dumplings you. So like it wraps all the way around you and then like meets itself on the other side. You're not hit with damage, but it's like it's just trying to find like where to get its yeah. Like let me just.
There's just lots of grumbling and just it's bad. And he's trying to get the vibroblade lit again to stab it, but he, all wrapped up in this.
Just smacking it. Power on. Yeah. It's on Bluetooth.
Stupid
doing it.
batteries.
Yeah. All right. Okay. And then we go to you guys. You can go in any order you would like. Eldon, Artemis, Vandy. If you want to go ahead and try to murk this thing.
Can I try to, now that it's on my face, can I try to quickly, activate my vibroblade and stab it?
Yeah.
Also,
Probably
Artemis, you are
uses 4
muted.
AA batteries.
Yeah, he quickly replaces the with the C batteries. They're so freaking expensive these days. And my vibroblade. So that'd be my merc score. To hit. So that's a 0. So I just roll a d20.
Yep.
And I got a 6. Batteries don't work.
Oof.
That's a swing and a miss.
Yep.
So,
Swing
yeah.
and a miss.
It's not even lit. He's just flailing wildly, and it's just not.
Vandy or
it's still
Artemis?
just.
I want to say Artemis, you're the more. You seem like the more combat ready.
Got a big old boomstick.
You're
Oh,
muted.
you're muted.
Or that's just Artemis.
Hey,
Artemis is telling you like it steals your soul when you speak. Just read my lips. We'll do Vandy.
From the lack of
stay here
oxygen.
long enough, it'll steal your voice.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Ah,
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool. I don't know what I did, but anyway. Combat ready? Sure. I'll try. Do I need to
Save your
roll
friend
initiative?
Eldon.
We just met, but we're best friends.
I just don't want to die here, and there have been like pirates and stuff. Also, my name is Artemis. Nice to meet you. Right. Slug shot at the thing that's covering the not Jedi person.
It's not Jedi, it's Jody, and it's not Sith. It's
And it's a nat 20.
Oh!
So clearly, Artemis
Yeah.
Artemis doesn't miss.
No.
Hey!
Okay, so...
You have lethal.
I have lethal? Sweet.
You have lethal.
Okay.
What do you do here?
So, I find the eyeball and shoot it.
And sure enough, when that thing breaks, it's like a Jenga tower. It just sort of all like falls apart at the center till eventually the vines have no ability to apply pressure to you, and they just sort of fall in a halo around you. It sort of just looks like a really disgusting wreath at your feet, Eldon. And then to true timing, now your vibrant blade is like powers on, like ready to like
I just
murder.
realized we're fighting the Pokemon Tangela.
Yeah.
That's been this entire Yep.
Yeah.
The boss fight was realizing that.
We're gonna go this way now, okay? Cause I don't want to die.
Yeah, on that note, we were discussing maybe just we grab what we came for and bug out on our ship.
Well, what did you come
You're
for?
invited.
Coffee.
Oh, well, that's in room 2.
Mother.
We really need a good, but we needed a better. You know, in the future, Eldon, if you're getting a job like this, get a fucking insider's map of where the fuck things are.
All right.
Let's go get
I
our
know
coffee.
what to do now. You lot, you go ahead. You go back to coffee. I'm gonna pump this place full of oxygen, and then you, Wilbur, you can indulge in your favorite activity of blowing shit the fuck up.
I mean,
Are you also-
I can just
Here's the
fly
problem
out
with
and
that
destroy the
plan.
hangar.
There's a problem with that plan. What did you say your name was?
Mandy.
Mandy. Okay. So the climate controls and life support controls are in 7, and those things, they're all over the place in there.
So I think that's more votes on get the fuck out.
Well,
Hey Vandy, I can always shoot the hangar on the way out, and crack it open to space.
So
But it
there are a
also-
lot of extinct plants in seed form on this
them.
arc.
Shouldn't.
I would say that falls.
That's-
Aliens have taken over the ship. That falls
Between
under
you two.
fuck this.
I'm not touching that one.
no, Wilbur, we gotta preserve as much life as possible here.
Couldn't you put a warning buoy out?
Don't you have some
Yes.
sort of like weed killer, some sort of plant?
Andy, there ain't enough weed killer, pesticide, or whatever to take care of this shit. The only thing that solves
I'm
this
sure
is
there is.
vacuum.
You've got a one-track mind, Wilbur, and your one track is all
You know what?
vacuums.
I'm gonna go get the coffee. Get the fuck out. You want to stay? Be my guest, and I'll walk away.
I'm gonna stay.
Storming down the
Lady.
ceiling.
I didn't practice 5-dimensional shrimp for nothing.
Yeah, I'm going
Andy, whatever you're doing,
on the ceiling.
be on the ship in 10 minutes. As we're taking off.
I gotcha. I want to try and basically just parkour my way to the environmental controls using all these made-up yoga skills that I just plainly decided as a player that I have.
Hey, Andy, I heard this a long time ago.
Literally
If I
just
don't
left.
see you again, I think the words are rest in peace.
That's very sweet of you, Wilbur.
Do you want a hand?
Sure.
Okay, I'll watch your back.
She says.
Apparently, I'm really good
confidently.
at shooting things.
New
Didn't
best
expect
friend.
that. Okay.
The last person who did that died.
I will enjoy all of your hit points. Okay, well then I guess probably for the final, like, true test of the night, Artemis at your flank to, you know, it's like your satellite, your moon, to deflect damage. You head to room 7. When you do, you find out where all the vines were leading to, and it is a massive tree, with a sort of like strange. It's not unlike the Ent, but more like stretched skin face. At the center, this thing is disgusting because it is. It's like a genetic accident when it comes to plant life. But sure enough, the entity will speak. Help us.
Sure thing. How do I help you?
They've made us monsters.
And do you want to be turned back to normal? Is that it? I'm not sure about it, but I know an excellent surgeon. He can do wonders.
To die. Obviously, what you found in the other room is, these pirates have just like pumped this place full of genetic experiments to try to get these things as bountiful as possible. And now they're accidentally sentient. This tree with this like massive vines has been just dead set at killing you guys too.
Yeah, this pirate was called the Umbrella Company.
I have a very, very stupid idea.
What's your idea?
Can I pump its veins full of coffee and hope that kills it?
We want to caffeinate this plant.
I mean, wait.
Let's put it this way.
It is
IV coffee may sound attractive. Yeah, like it may sound attractive, but IV coffee will kill you. Just for all you people in the stream, I know we all love coffee. Do not IV coffee.
Don't mainline coffee.
No, you
People
don't
joke
want
about
that.
like, put it in my veins. Don't actually put it in your vein.
Yeah, like top health advice brought to me, who is absolutely not a doctor in any capacity whatsoever.
You have a syringe, you have coffee, and it has vines.
Yeah. I was gonna stab it in the face.
Before
Sure,
you're able to do that, Artemis puts the shotgun slug thrower to your head. I can't let you do that, Band-Aid. I worked too hard on this.
Oh no.
Back away.
Oh no.
Shame. That's a real shame.
Drop the syringe.
Inject her with the coffee.
Yeah, no. God damn it, you beat me to it. I was gonna say, I'm gonna try to inject Artemis instead.
Sorry.
I mean, we could do it.
You want to have a showdown? Let's go.
I want. Yes, showdown.
Oh, you're one of the
Yeah, it's not me.
Vandy, roll a
I
d6.
never get to play the traitor. It's great.
All right.
Wow.
And all you had to do was die.
Wow.
Exactly.
Die became Trey T. What a...
And now I'm here. Oh, but you got the jump on me.
Vandy, you go first. Let's make an attack.
Yeah. And purely for flavor, I want to do this as like, you know,
Hazelnut?
5-dimensional shrimp involves basically having your torso and legs facing opposite directions. So the little gyro jets in my shoulders fire and twist me around, and in that same motion, I'm gonna just get the syringe and think, you know, Pulp Fiction, the adrenaline needle, and just like try to jam it right into your ribcage.
Okay.
Make that attack roll.
Sorry. Wait, I got betrayed. Why am I apologizing?
You got betrayed. Don't apologize to me. Betrayed to survive.
I'm so used to being the traitor.
That is a great hit.
That is a great hit. And Artemis takes the syringe to the neck.
Oh!
I'm sure it briefly
We have one
feels
of those
fantastic,
cool-
and then you're dead.
Yep.
One of those cool power
I
shot moments
can
though, where you like
see!
stick it in but don't hit the plunger right away, so you gotta like fight over it. Like,
Yeah.
Artemis.
Have
Like
double
a
shot.
brief moment of seeing infinity.
I can see the 42nd dimension.
It doesn't. That is
Oh.
blasphemy.
Yeah, no, the moment Artemis sees the 42nd dimension, it just, reality begins folding. And Artemis
Yeah.
just...
On Artemis themselves.
Yep.
Yeah, no, just Artemis themselves begins to fold
Like an origami.
with all the squelching and crunching that accompanies.
Yep.
oh,
I still get shot. Yes.
Yes, you died twice!
So back.
Record.
Back to you guys. You find out one of the things that they're keeping in this lab was an unreleased Coffee 2. No explanation, no further information. It's just Coffee, the sequel, and it's somewhere here in this lab. You can take that in addition to what you're being hired to haul out of here.
absolutely, 100%. Although now Dextra can't benefit from this anymore. Sad.
I think we just
Extra comes
grab
out
coffee.
of the other room,
Like the
covered in
Godfather, we
vines,
grab
like-
coffee 1, 2, and 3. Grab the trilogy, and head out.
Fair. Coffee 3 is bad.
All right, one thing I want to do Ian,
Equals are
before we
always
go, because
terrible.
I have this special ability I've been holding on to from being a verdant mystic, which is that I can detect thoughts or danger. I want to just like
Oh.
before, like, we're ready to leave. Like, I let you know Wilbur's a big guy. He can carry stuff. Like, he can be the muscle for this. I'm sprightly. Like, Wilbur, grab the coffee, take that, and then we're getting ready to go. And I just kind of like extend my feelings and see if I can feel if somewhere in there Dextra's still alive. Like, try to sense the life force of Dextra. And as soon as Ian gets back.
He just did.
Ian, did you get any of that?
No. There are ghosts
Okay.
on my computer. Or as we call
I'm
them,
going
in-
to
analog holograms.
analog holograms. Yes, I'm going to extend my feelings, use my ability to detect thoughts or danger, and extend my feelings and try to sense if there's any hope for Dextra. Like, if Dextra is still alive somewhere in there, in those mounds of vines into which that they got pulled. If there's anything left of Dextra that's still alive.
You sense non-vine life in the husk, the mountain of vines that are growing. Somehow, in the violence, these astronaut suits you feel have clustered together, but beyond that, you don't know what the machinations of that entity are. They don't make sense in the third dimension, but you like to think that they might be living their best life in some other even-numbered dimension. Yeah.
I hate the even-numbered dimensions, though. They're so
Yeah.
boring.
Yeah, really not a lot going on for them, but
Even numbered dimensions always smell like ammonia. I don't know why.
I don't know why that is, too. It's strange. No one ever explained that. There's so much we don't know about it.
further, you know that some of your old friends are trying to meet you at the hangar where you're going to be making a getaway with all this coffee. Wilbur, Vandy, Eldon, you are out and about. Do you think we're going to try to double back? For
I was gonna
Dextra,
say,
or do you think we're...
Vandy is actually gonna stay in 7, and we don't have to play this out because this is just a one-shot, but Vandy actually is probably gonna stay behind and try and figure out a solution to this whole trying to help these strange, horrific abominations who have been unleashed.
I love it.
So
Help.
Vandy's actually just gonna take the whole. No, she's actually gonna try to figure out like an actual solution. Like, okay, what's the best word here? First, do no harm.
Right.
So that's Vandy. Like, I want to say that's Vandy done for this because, you know, you get a brief thing about the con. Like, yeah, I think I got a better mission here. I don't know if it's gonna pay well, but maybe the scientific papers they write about me are gonna be awesome.
Beautiful.
If we're ever in the position to do so, we'll come back and pick you up.
Pretty sure I have a mound of coffee for you by then.
Be safe. Don't get eaten by plants.
Now, me and the plants are gonna get along just fine, aren't we? And she's just like leaning up against the tree, gives it a pat on its weird, twisted, pained face.
Destroy!
Yeah, that's just what I thought.
Crush!
Good luck, Andy. You're gonna need it.
Well, good luck, Vandy. And then, like, put a hand on my fucking head.
Take back your friend.
Well,
You see the marching. The 4 suits are coming, and they literally are like, it's like just a hulking colossus of vines. But then they start to rip apart, like you're trying to serve spaghetti after it's dried. The vines are just sort of ripping and tearing and coming out of it as they sort of fall out like 4 pillars. Dextra has this like strange green sheen about them, and then like veins and arteries, they're like pumping through with this like vicious purple hue.
oh hell no.
They are the seed.
I
tree
go,
just
oh hell no, bug
Flames. Are we headed to the hangar,
Frickin-
Wilbur?
Yeah, I was with
yeah.
Wilbur. I mean, we were already on the way out.
out.
Yeah.
Now we're heading to
Leaving.
the hangar to the ship, and
All right.
this is the seed.
Yeah.
We're bugging out.
All right. Eldon, Wilbur, your ship isn't doing that well because it had to deploy most of its drones. The remaining defense drones have been destroyed by the pirates in the upper levels on the catwalks that were shooting down on it. Some of them are faces that you recognize, Eldon, but overall, you get the sense that you had to get out of here, and you got to get out of here fast.
That's what we'll do.
I'm gonna fly.
Yep. You're gonna fly. Okay. Yep.
I'm gonna fly. Like the vibro sword and soar above just fly up above the ship and hover there in the air with my sword lit, ready to deflect any shots or anything should they come at me. But just
Right. Yeah, because
Eldon's.
the speaker on the ship is, man is still in a panic. Your Clippy is just like, I don't know. I'm not ready to leave yet. They're gonna shoot us down.
Okay, take it
what's
easy.
up.
I'm gonna talk to
Here's
these
where I
guys.
have something. Here's where I have something fun for us. 2 pieces of gear I have. I have a harpoon launcher and a belt winch. So I literally use them to strap the coffee stuff and seats to me, but leave me hands free.
Beautiful. That just takes you right to the ship.
Yep.
All right.
And as he floats
Eldon,
up
what would
to
you
like address to his old friends, I think he literally just says like, "What the fuck? Seriously? We're just here for coffee.
Seriously, me? You're
Seriously, you?
me. She just points at you. You're wearing a robe. You're like. Yeah. Look, I'm gonna say it right now. Don't know when that stuff happened. It wasn't with us.
That you know of?
Did you pick this up in the Fremulon system?
it up in the 27th dimension. You wouldn't know you've gotten that far yet. Now listen, all I need you to do is let us fucking leave. You can do whatever you want with the rest of all these plants. We just came here for some coffee. The rest is yours. I don't care. No skin off my nose whatsoever.
I don't think I can let you do that. The hangar is going to shut. There's like a reinforced armor that like shuts in. Suddenly, it would be virtually impossible to like break through by sheer force to get out of the ship. And then over a speaker, you get a voice. I don't know about it. There's already someone sneaking on the ship, and it's... Wait, guys. It's the voice of Clippy, just like chiming in. Guys, wait a second. Eldon, get your ass back here.
Akna, I gotta go. My sexy ship needs me. You take care.
A portal starts to open like on the floor. When these idiots shot our wormhole drive into the future, looks like they didn't shoot it far enough. And then just like your wormhole drive just starts like booting up again.
Oh god, gotta go. I zip down, like trying to like deflect any shots coming my way as I back into the ship.
Yep. Oh yeah, no, they're just firing at you.
Deflect them behind your back, like yeah, whatever.
Definitely one of those like fly in as the hatch is closing at like the last second as it closes up.
Yep. Perfect. And as this thing just starts to like shake and rattle.
I just said one last message to Vandy. You got plant monsters, and about 27 pirates in the hangar. Good luck.
So right, honey, me and my new best friend here is gonna take care of it, aren't you?
And the big frog goes,
the tree is just like, Benny! Existence is a mistake. And then the ship's just like, Dos Vidania, kids, and then just woof, disappears. That's probably where we have to end it for tonight. We have coffee too. We have coffee 3, which is, the worst capstone to the trilogy, but that's for another session, another time.
We can't all be winners.
Coffee Resurrection, that was when it all went to hell.
Yeah, Coffee 1 was fine. That was the problem. It wasn't the sequel. Anyway, sorry, I can't go on my spiel yet. No,
There was
okay,
coffee.
All right, so let's.
Coffees. Those were okay.
It wasn't crying out for a sequel.
Got it. All right, why don't we go over our outros? Coffees. Starting with
me again?
Kevin.
I'm Kevin. You can find me anywhere as TheLawfulGeek on all social media. I've been playing Wilbur, Willowby the 25th. And as I promised, that accent went everywhere. You can find me, as I mentioned, on my channel, TheLawfulGeek. On Friday, we're back with our usual programming and back with one of our shows called our Peanuts, in which every arc we play go into a different world and play in a different RP system. On our current arc, we're doing Star Trek Adventures.
Damn.
And on Saturday, though, I will be adding more details to that. I'm taking part in a panel about the joys of tabletop with a few interesting folk. Again, I'll let I elaborate on that. And then on Sunday, picking back up on my D&D campaign again on my channel, because as Diane mentioned, I do run multiple games of different genres and different systems. That's everything. Our Peanuts is on at 7:30 p.m. EST, and midnight at 12:30 after midnight UK time. And on Sundays, the game is at 6 p.m. UK time, so 1 p.m. EST. If you want to check it out, join us. It'll be a lot of fun. And that's it for me. Thank you all. Thank you again for inviting me. This is second time that I've been invited to a game. It's been a pleasure as always. Thanks a lot.
Of course. Moving on over. Colin, welcome back.
Hey,
How does it feel?
so good to be back. Thank you. It's cool. Like here, I'm here, but I'm back, but not because I'm like under a different name, which feels like I'm like got a pseudonym here. And that name is Six String Games. And rather than do the typical outro, I'm going to tell you an extremely short story. It goes a little something like this. In the year 1981, and this is a true story. In the year 1981, Congress put together a task force called the Human Interference Task Force. Their job was to design ways to make sure that 30,000 years in the future, when there's still nuclear waste buried in the ground, that other humans in the future don't stupidly dig it up and kill themselves. One of the ideas that they came up with was the idea of breeding a special breed of cat that changed color when it was near high radiation, so that people would know if the kitty changes color, we're in a dangerous place. If you liked that story and found it intriguing, and it is completely 100% true, I made up absolutely nothing I just said. If you found that intriguing, you'll be happy to know that I made a game about it, and that game is called Ray Cats. And that game comes out on February 1st on wide release. You can buy it. It's by my company, Six String Games. It's written in collaboration with my creative partner, Anna, who is Nymeria941 on Twitter, and Nymeria Streams here on Twitch. And if you also are intrigued by that, you can see Ray Cats, I think, on a channel kind of like this one, like soonish. So, my
Intriguing.
Twitter, our Twitter is at Six String Games. I'm gonna drop that link there in chat. Give us a follow and you'll find out about all the stuff that we're making, including Ray Cats. And the other game we're working on right now that I'm incredibly excited about is a horror game that is in the style of the Blair Witch Project. It's like a found footage horror game. Inspired by the Blair Witch Project, Cloverfield, Paranormal Activity, that whole found footage horror genre. And coming up with mechanics for how to make that work is so weird and so much fun. And I cannot wait to play that game.
It's so
not done yet, still working on it, but that'll be so Ray Cats will be February. We release a new game every month, so Ray Cats will be February, and then the month after that will be our found footage horror game. We'll be on the lookout. That's all.
Dang.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Of course. Welcome
hi.
back, Spence.
So as the ship takes off, you notice a actually really good smell coming from the galley. And there's Dextra, vine covered, very happily grinding some spices in 0G, looking verdant as ever, and just ready to go. So I've been Spence playing who have I been playing? Dextra, Fuego, and also Artemis, the trader. And you can catch me here on Weave the Tale. Once our formal season starts, I will be doing the Weaver Circle podcast on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. So keep an eye out for that. We're not only going to be interviewing the various GMs that we have for this season, but we're also going to be focusing on gamer and streamer mental health and accessibility. And I've got some amazing people that we're going to be talking to this season. So check it out.
All right.
Oh, and you can find me on TikTok, spence.resonant.moon. Yeah.
Oof. In my headcanon for Through the Void, TikTok is the only surviving social media platform. Just because I know other companies would hate if that were true. Last but certainly not least, and someone else I've been desperately trying to run a game.
Demolition Man future, where the only restaurant is Taco Bell?
No.
Yes.
I don't mind.
Ah, boy.
I do not mind.
All right. Yeah, I guess that leaves me. Hi, like I said, I'm Dan. I am Balrog1911. I stream things on my own channel. Normally I would be streaming on my own channel at this time, but I got invited to play a one-shot with these lovely people, so how the heck am I going to say no? I've played with all of these people before except Spence, and it was my first time playing with you, and then they killed me, or tried at least.
But I also sacrificed my life to save you.
Yeah, it's a weird, like, I'm feeling very conflicted. It was weird whiplash here, but anyway, yeah, I stream on my own channel sometimes. I also have been trying to organize. Basically, I have a couple of things in the works, but I'm not quite ready to say everything about them yet. But one of them will involve Brinkwood, Blood of Tyrants, so keep an eye out for that. And as Kevin already mentioned, this Saturday will be in what, as it turns out, is going to be the first. Basically, yeah, I'm going to be I already put together a roundtable discussion on the joy of tabletop, because there's a lot of discussions about, the problems with tabletop and the things we need to fix and the problems we need to address. And while all of that is very true and very necessary, sometimes it feels good to just talk about the things we like and why we actually do this, because sometimes it's, with all the problems, it's easy to forget that we actually love this fucking hobby. So it is going to be Kevin joining me, and also Brian at Urban Bohemian, who basically I had a chat with back in December, which inspired the whole thing. Tanya at Cipher of Tyr is going to be joining us as well, and also another friend who I recently got introduced to with playing a game of Call of Cthulhu in all German, which was a blast. That is going to be, if you go to Twitter at Pancake Cosplay, I think, yeah, Pancake_cosplay. Basically, hang on, I will be easier off just linking my initial announcement. I can do that because I'm a mod. I'm going to use my powers. Anyway, yeah, that's the announcement. So Saturday at noon, no, not Saturday. Yes, Saturday at noon Eastern time. So 6 p.m. European time. Join us, because it would be nice to have people join in and talk about the joys of tabletop, and watch as we try to keep a discussion somewhat on track for an unspecified amount of time. And also, if you hop in, I will be giving away a collector's edition box set for Resident Evil Village for the PlayStation 4. Because I reached a fundraising goal last year, and Players vs. Cancer was very, very kind, and I'm going to continue my collaboration with them. So, all you got to do is show up and be in chat. Anyway, that was very long-winded, I guess. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, be around. And also, follow this channel, because there's some really good shit in the works. Can't wait for Shadowrun. Wait, one last thing. I'm sorry, I forgot to say it.
Shadowrun.
Yeah, I play Shadowrun on Kevin's channel on every other Thursday. So tune in for that.
Next week.
Yeah.
Well, dang. All right, last and least. I'm Ian. I'm kind of new to all this. I've only been doing TTRPGs for like a couple years, which I thought was a lot. And then I went to a convention and someone's like, "Yeah, I've been in TTRPGs for about like a century and a half, 2 centuries now." Yeah, everyone's great. This is the best community. It's absolutely my favorite. But you can just find me here and then like on another channel. And then I'm at Ianvjames on Twitter, which is my stage name, because my middle name is actually Christopher, which isn't spelled with a V. But that's basically all you could reach me at. And then I'm just on this channel. We have a Symbaroum game on Monday. And then I'm running a Blue Rose one-shot for part of our Blue Rose show in April, I think. And then I've got one-shots. I'll do at least one a month. But a ton of good things cooking. Thank you so much for watching. While I find my little video to play out, we're going to play our little trailer for this. But I just want to remind you that this game can be yours, and it is not an expensive game, and it is not a difficult game. I described it in the tunnel as the kind of game you would print out and take on a camping trip. And that's because everything that we ran and played and did fit on like 6 pages worth of a PDF. For this style of game and for Down We Go, I intentionally do not prep ahead of time, because I don't want it to feel scripted. I don't want it to feel like it even takes that much effort to throw together. So a lot of things I'm not even rolling until like we are live doing it, because I like the idea that you can break your prep and play ratio to be whatever you want it to be, and you can like have your players help you make the story. these players are fantastic, and they absolutely delivered. So if you like this, absolutely get this game. I have a blast with this. I had an absolute blast with Down We Go. It's both genres, sci-fi and fantasy. And then under that umbrella, you can tell, really just about any story you want, as long as you're willing for it to be pretty brutal and always surprising. But that's all I've got. Hopefully that's medium-winded. Thank you so much for watching, and good night.
Empires demolished, cultures destroyed, the legions scattered across the void as a shadow of its former self. All that remains is the 3TR-5 station, Eternus. For decades now, Eternus has survived in the salvage of bygone eras, small outlying colonies, and asteroid mines, along with the sweat, toil, and blood of drifters. Those desperate few willing to leave the safety of the rings and go through the void.